Let me try that again. There we go. Just had to adjust my gain on my microphone. Now we're good. What's up, everybody? Bacon, Algair, and Thor, of course. Yeah, this is year one still, correct. As decided by the stream in the previous stream that I did, we are sticking with inaugural season. Is that really a hot take though, Math? It is a pretty weird roster. Appreciate you, Hitman. Who is that next to reinforce? That is Crumbs. He was on the OWL analyst desk for just this season, actually, and then he dipped. Oh yeah, the Thursday through Sunday schedule was a blast. I agree with you. OG fan, I've never seen him before. I mean, it's pretty easy to forget him, right? He was in the league for just this one season, and he was... I mean, like, he was kind of relevant, like, but at the same time, like, so many other personalities have stuck around for so long, it's kind of hard to remember him. Can't wait for season 2. We'll get there eventually. Yo, Dabingo, what's going on? So we're just going to chill for a few moments, wait for people to come into stream, and then we're going to dive right into it. We got a little bit of a double header. We're going to do 2 games today. Philly versus London Spitfire, followed by Philly versus New York Stage 2 playoffs. Figured I'd do 2 today. I don't know. I felt like 1 wasn't enough the last time, so we're going to do 2 this time. Yeah, Philly versus London. Yeah, we're going to get that. One of the first big upsets of OWL, when you really think about it. Funny enough, like, a lot of the early upsets that happened in OWL involved Philly beating really good teams. Funny enough, like, as sad as their second places are, they had a lot of upsets in the early season of the inaugural year. Like, I mean, they stopped New York from having a 10-0 stage in stage 1. And spoiler alert, they freaking beat London as well. Like, they beat them a bunch of times, actually, this season. Kind of crazy. Philly were like the kings of making some big-time drama happen in terms of match results. Carpe really arriving on the scene and becoming like one of the top players in the game, carrying a Philly team that really was not that great at the time. Like, not bad, but I mean, without him, what would they have actually been, you know? Wasn't Philly also kind of scrappy going to map 5 against the Dragon several times? Yeah. At some point we watched Shanghai's run for stage 3 title. Absolutely. They didn't beat London when it mattered. This is true, but they did beat them a lot of other times, which not a lot of other teams can say, so. Gotta give them some credit there. I'm really excited for this, like, the OG Philly roster. I'm a very big fan of it, like Fraggy and Poco, Carpe, EQO, Neptuno, Boombox, like, man. Like, the first, like, true, like, totally mixed roster with guys from all over the place, and it somehow worked. Thoughts on Among, Giga Chad, Ryan versus Titans during GOATS? It's a classic, and I'm gonna watch it eventually. Fraggy left you on red the other day. That hurts. Unfortunate. Alright, seems like we're gonna stick around 30-ish viewers right now, so I guess we'll dive right into it. So, to set the scene, in case you need a refresher or you weren't really around in this first season, in Stage 2, 3 teams were allowed to qualify for the stage playoffs. And those 3 teams happened to be alexyOWL, London Spitfire, and the Fusion. The Fusion ended up sneaking into the Stage 2 playoffs at 7-3. They got a tiebreaker, actually, over the Dynasty because they had a better map differential at the time. They just squeaked in at 7-3, had a couple of close calls throughout, but they made it there. They got the number 3 seed, and they were the ultimate underdogs. Absolutely nobody was giving them a chance heading into this matchup. They're going to play the 2-seeded London Spitfire, alexyOWL at a first-round bye with a 9-1 record. So it's Philly versus London in this first game. And as you're about to find out in a second, nobody was giving Philly any kind of chance. Like, they made it there, but they really weren't beating that many great teams. London and New York seemed like the 2 common consensus best teams in the league. Like, there was absolutely no chance anybody else would go into the finals. But as it turns out, a lot of us would be in for a rude awakening, much to the delight of Philadelphia Fusion fans. And then from there, afterwards, we have a pretty epic finals as well. Another one that comes in reverse sweep fashion, which is kind of crazy we got 2 in a row. But yeah, it was a really fun time. It ended up being a great part 2 to the stage playoff arc. Didn't really think it'd get much better than Philly versus, or not Philly, I mean London versus New York in stage 1, but it really did. It again lived up to the hype, and I think kind of drew a lot of interest from fans worldwide. So we're going to get right into this, and I'm going to start by showing you exactly where the desk's head was at going into this game. So you can enjoy listening to that.
So we talked about both of the squads. Let's talk a little bit about this London squad, though, because they are our Stage 1 champions.
Actually, wait. This is a little quiet. I'm just going to up my volume a little bit here. Give me a second. Desktop audio. Let's... Okay, should be good now.
Looking for the repeat. How are they feeling today?
I think they're pretty confident. I did talk to them yesterday during their game, and they said that, you know, they really wanted that number 1
Probably
seed,
owl
because
guy.
obviously that would mean that they would get the opportunity to actually watch their opponents play and get a bit of a feel of how they are like approaching it. And now they're in a position where they unfortunately have to kind of give away strats. I did ask them, will you be hiding something for alexyOWL in the finals? They said, nah, we can't afford that. Like, it's all or nothing. We need to win the semi-final, and they want to make it a clean one.
Can't wait to get this one started. I'm told by our producer we are just a moment away. So let's wrap it up here at the desk with our predictions. I want to start with you, Crumbs. Where are you going today? Is it the Philadelphia Fusion pulling off the upset over the number 2, or are you siding with London?
I'm siding orange today, Puckett. And that orange is not Philadelphia, but it's London instead.
Nice debate.
There we go. We're going with the London Spitfire because right now, Birdering and Profit, they are just absolute beasts at DPS. Typically, Philly takes advantage of weaker DPS and weaker supports, but Bedosin and Nuss are no slouches to taking out DPS, and I think those 4 will be a big difference.
What do you mean, Nuss? Taking out DPS? Nuss?
First time I heard a prediction booed. I love it. Johnny, to you, where are we going?
Philadelphia has some great players today. Of course, they have Froggy.
But he's a coward, and he picked London.
So I'm going with the Europeans today. Rule Britannia, London Spitfire.
The Europeans, they have all Koreans on their team.
Hype up Philly and then choose London. I like that move. Zoe, where are you going?
You know, Fusion, I really want you guys to win, but sorry, I'm also going with London. You can't sleep on those players. I think they're gonna
Boo.
But the upset, Puckett, the upset.
I'm going with Philadelphia today.
Nah, Meatball, definitely not.
Right? Why not? They're here. Let's see him walk away with the victory. That's going to do it for the desk, but we've got Malik.
Kind of hard to live up to what Proper did in the first season.
Thank you very much, Puckett.
He might be Hitman.
Guys, both of these teams have been
Got a
going
Pine jersey
hard
up front,
all stage
based.
long. They made vast improvements to make it here today. Now remember, they're playing for a shot at tonight's title match against the NYXL and a chance at that $125,000 low. Blizzard Arena, are you
Cool
guys ready?
125K.
All right, well, let's introduce our teams right now.
It's go time. Let's get it.
The Philly boys. How much talent is on this team?
It has been all
The signs are special, yeah. I miss the Blizzard Arena days a lot.
Setting it up. He's hitting everything. Big resounding fight win for London.
Huge turnaround. Huge. The Philadelphia Fusion.
I'm gonna try and do them more often, Andrew.
Man, hold me.
And here is your Philadelphia starting lineup.
There he is, the man, Carpe.
Number 18, Carpe.
Yo, what up, Andrew?
Also in attack,
EQO.
number 1,
Yeah, at this point, Shadowburn had been perma-benched, basically. And EQO was the guy. There's Fraggy, there he is, the Chad.
Fraggy.
The original Rhine legend.
On flex tank, Poco.
Poco was so good back then.
On support, number 42, Boombox. And on
Baby
support,
bake.
number 8, Neptuno.
Dude, Neptuno was a beast in Season 1 also.
Philadelphia Fusion.
Yep, this is inaugural season.
All right, guys, have a seat. All right, Philadelphia Fusion. are taking
6v6
themselves
nostalgia
straight.
depression.
And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and introduce our next team. Now, this team is back here in the stage playoffs for the second time in a row. They're going to be looking to go back-to-back and get back to that stage title match for another championship. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming to the stage the London Spitfire.
Dude, Fraggy's Rhine was like a different breed of like mental.
First,
It reminds me of like Bumper, but maybe, you know, like a bit less dumb.
on flex tank,
Like all the flank
number
shatters he went
19,
for was kind of crazy. I mean, Hottie was probably the better Rhine, but you know, it's just funny to think about how that matchup would go.
Number 13, Prophet. On tank,
Gesture just giving his
number
flags
7,
away.
Gesture. On support, Nuts.
Only New York versus London stage 1. I have all the VODs on my channel if you're ever interested. The London boys, the defending stage 1 champions. I am not saying that Fraggy is better than Bumper. I was just comparing their playstyle.
Well, these guys look quite amped up to get this match going. The Blizzard Arena is definitely ready for it. You guys are ready, right? I'm super ready. I'm gonna go sit down and catch this match and go ahead and see
Yes,
the
sir.
broadcasters to get us into the action.
And just a reminder, chat, London were heavy favorites to win this game.
Here to get us started with playoff Sunday, Philadelphia Fusion taking on London Spitfire. Man,
Like, I can't emphasize that enough. Everyone thought London were going to win this game. They just won stage 1. It was the common consensus, they're going to play New York again.
It's a pander bear.
Definitely. I think it makes a lot of sense. You look at his results over this stage, does seem
to.
that he tends to go.
Did
that
London play
way.
well in
I
stage
don't
2 before
disagree
this? Yeah, they went
with
8-2. They had an
everybody
8-2
else
record.
who's got the Pander
They were
Bear,
solid.
Chris Puckett, which
Honestly,
is
they
that
were
London
peaking
has a
around
pretty
this
big
time
advantage coming in
until
with
later in the
history
season.
between
Like,
these
this
two
was their
teams.
early peak
Philadelphia has never won a match
before they got their
over
second wind in
8
playoffs.
in these two stages. They have
Like, they
only
just won
taken
stage 1 and they kind of
3
carried that
points.
momentum through their
So,
qualifiers.
It's been a rough matchup.
You know, however, though, I feel like Philadelphia Fusion right now is a very different team. And you put on top of that, they didn't play EQO in that first match in stage 2 against London. So while I do agree that London does have a big advantage coming into this one, I think Philly's got a real shot, especially if they can make it to Kings Row.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Kings Row is the most winnable map here for the Fusion, but it is our 4th map in the series, so they have to make it that far, I think, to get some footholds. However, on Gibraltar, they have been good. We've seen Carpe perform extremely well on the
Also,
Widowmaker.
something to note about
Definitely
Philly
some
during
bright
this
spots on
time
this map
is
as well. And
They put EQO onto their lineup and they show some improvement. They bent Shadowburn, and EQO's flexibility and consistency kind of put them over the hump. Like Shadowburn was like a good Genji and Pharah player, but I think EQO maybe brought a bit more to the table. Like he could play Widow. His Genji was maybe a little more consistent, maybe not as explosive, but more consistent. And a flex DPS during this time, it was important to be able to at least play a little hit scan a lot of the time, so EQO was very helpful for the team there. He actually had a pretty good Widow in Season 1, from what I remember.
As we get things started on Gibraltar, and
he could hang in there.
It sounds silly
to play the cash too.
If Philadelphia Fusion want to have a chance to win this one, they have to win one of the first 3 maps. Obviously, that's how it works in a best of 5. But we say that because the last 2 maps are really where these guys can shine, but they got to get through Gibraltar.
That's hilarious to Bingo. All right, here we go. The classic Widow Tracer. It was gaining a lot of relevance during this time.
And London Spitfire will be opting into the Widow duel, in spite that fact
between Carpe and EQO, Fusion hold #1 ranks for damage, final blows, elims, and crit accuracy on Gibraltar. So they're a solid Gibraltar team.
Gonna opt into a tough situation, but we know he's up to the task.
Oh, no doubt.
I wish I was an OG, but I was only 11. Oof. I was in my first year of college. Isn't that crazy? And now I've been graduated for like 2 years.
To support him, so now London falling back into that server room, trying not to give EQO any more sightlines than they need to.
Yeah, you can see Birdring coming out of the glass on the top side, and then Gesture doing a little bit of shouting right here. Bedosian.
Ooh, that was a close call there. Bedosian.
Why didn't they play Carpe, Widow, EQO Tracer? Well, the thing is EQO's Tracer was very, very mid. And Carpe, like, at the time, was arguably like a top 5 Tracer and Owl. In Season 1, in specific. So, like, it was pointless to put a mediocre player on Tracer when you could have, like, a decent Widow and then a really good Tracer, you know? EQO was not much of a Tracer player ever in his career. Although, to be fair, they could have played Genji Widow if they wanted to, but Tracer Widow was kind of the call during this time. Like Stage 2, Stage 3, we saw a lot of Tracer Widow.
That payload still moving forward just a bit.
The high ground still being contested right now.
Damn Penguin.
Will pop the Transcendence.
Okay, now Fraggy's turn to go primal, and he's going to try to keep everybody off. They just want to shove London out to push.
See, there it is. EQO gets the pick on the Birdring. Big.
Was used on the Spitfire side. Boombox
but
and so far
London's backline, or Philly's backline gets friggin' rolled there. Hog Hitman, glad to have you aboard.
You see the Resurrect 2 onto Bedosian, so London holding strong.
So I mean, despite Philly being a good Gibraltar team, like London are holding pretty strong here. Like they are genuinely still really good. Like I know a lot of people always just assume it was Stage 1 and then not till the playoffs were they were good, but Stage 2 they were a very, very good team.
You can see how fast that they adapt to these kills coming through. They know exactly where to hit on the flanks if they lose a member.
It really is amazing watching.
Like this is when they had their lineup situation totally figured out. They had their starting 6, like they weren't messing with anything. Rascal and Fissure were off the team. Again, really clean follow-up from the tanks and Prophet. Braggy was super underrated. I mean, Rhiny was pretty good. Yo, Vernos. You're 14 when this happened. Damn, you guys were so young. You're making me feel even older than I actually am, chat. That's crazy. Y'all were like literal children when this season happened while I was in college. That's insane.
Because they seem to have every scenario mapped out in their heads.
So now we're in a good situation for Philly, though. They got a lot of ults.
can use it to get a pick off. He has triggered it now.
You just don't see teams play to their limits as well as London does defensively here either. That said, though, they do lose Badoshin early.
Because I am old. Damn, Penguins messed up. Nasty headshot.
From Birdwing. That's a big one.
Oh, Neptuno.
Get the res off in time. Gesture finishes him.
Yo, Leon Master, what up, brother? Yep, the golden days indeed.
Just leave the Zenyatta there. Yeah, wait for Prop to show up. And Philadelphia in a lot of trouble here as we go into overtime. They've really got no one left.
They've got
to
nothing.
keep this payload going.
And it's a self-destruct.
Yeah, so really rough start for Philly in this game, as you can see. Like, this is why people are saying they don't stand any chance. London's gonna cruise through these guys, they'll win clean, and they'll get ready for New York in their, I think, 4th battle at that point. Which should have been their 4th battle, I should say. Wait, that sign, wait a second. Did that sign say, that sign says touchdown, yay sports. Okay.
Somebody died on their team. They would double
that's
down
just
on
so
the
random.
On the back line of the Philadelphia Fusion. It was Gesture popping the Primal Rage and going in with Nuss when Badoshin fell. And then as soon as Gesture made space, Nuss doubled back to res Badoshin. So
God, Blizzarino was a different breed of fun.
Exceptional for the London Spitfire. That's why they're one of the
Those
best
signs
teams in this league. And when they are
never
running
failed to be
with
creative. They predicted the ATP Sports Channel.
Situations, we saw them play 14 maps in one day to win the Stage 1 championship, and you can't count these guys out.
I mean, it's one of the things that...
So many people using G102. Yeah, I felt like a lot of pros used the same mouse during this time.
Those occasions where they do run those other rosters, they drop series to like the Gladiators, who did play well, but still, you know, you wonder if these guys were in from the beginning, how that one would go. But when things get serious, London just seems to kind of start...
People were big on Logitech.
Yeah, and that's
they probably still are.
They really play to the occasion.
Did I ever go to a game? No. I wish.
Or that team, or they won't run both Prophet and Birdring together, which is their strongest lineup. But when they come out in these scenarios, Doa, they
I was supposed to go to a game in 2020, not the Blizzard Arena, but then COVID canceled everything, so yeah. I've told this story a lot, but I had tickets to go to the second NYXL homestand in 2020. I think it was supposed to be around April, if I remember correctly, or no, it was May, I think. It was going to be Sparkle's 18th birthday. It would have been his debut. I could have seen Sparkle's debut live in person. Valiant, I think we're playing Toronto as well, or like, I think they were both going to play that day. So I would have saw Valiant, Agilities, Kareve, and I got robbed.
Gibraltar, Birdring will be coming in. Prophet switches up to the Tracer.
Arpe had 0 final blows on that on their attack.
Some people prefer, you know, we see, for Fusion, definitely preferring the dive composition. Same could be
I was 6th, 7th grade when this was happening. Damn.
We see similar in their adherence to the Tracer Genji. Yeah. But not this last time. We did see Birdring on the Widow in their defense. So
the EU team has full Korean, and the NA team is a bunch of EU players. Yeah. Oh.
Well, first of all, you need to keep your Genji alive, but also giving a nano boost to your Winston is going to help too. But that
well, that's tough.
Almost there already.
I have no idea why EQO was in the open on that sideline with the.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Neptuno played a bunch of Ana in this series.
Try and get scouting information. That's a big positional error.
Boombox down already. As you can see, Gesture low. He's going to get taken.
That's right. I remember Neptuno went kind of crazy on the Ana. I don't remember if it was this map or a different one. No, definitely not this map. It was a different one. Hanamura maybe? I don't remember.
For Philadelphia Fusion, built
Carpe Stalin doing his best to survive.
The destination right now.
Yeah, Fury still pushing it forward, and now with the infrasight, gonna be hard to hide. Self-destruct must be used just to zone the London Spitfire off, and it looks like Gesture is still gonna be battling in those.
Oh, there it is, Neptuno. There we go.
Neptuno finds him, man. Poco demeched, and if you're London, here's where you start to push here. No Fraggy, no Diva, the tanks are down.
Yeah, this is one thing that, this is like one of those situations where, do they touch? Okay, they do touch. Fury just runs over 2 casually. What was I gonna say? This is like a disparity in gameplay. People used to just like aggressively use bomb, and like in the modern day, like even like the latest versions of 6v6, like right before Overwatch 2, like people used to not do that, you know, you never just send out bomb out of nowhere. It would be like a stalling tactic more than anything. Everybody would just throw out bomb, and a lot of the time it was so silly, and you're like, why would you do that? Like at the time it made sense because that's how people played, but now like today's game, it's like, why would you ever do that?
Don't go anywhere though, guys. The match isn't over yet. We'll see you in just a few.
Yeah, Sato have the 30-game suspension.
Brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor.
Neptune, I think, is quite overrated. I don't know if I'd say that. He was mostly only good in Season 1.
And by Omen by HP, the official.
Oh wait, the stat cards. The stat cards. Let me see. Vidoshin. I miss this. I miss these old stat cards, man. It was fun. Like seeing the comparison of how people were doing. Fury with a casual 17-0 on Diva. Okay, let's move on to Nepal. This is where things got a little exciting. Like, I remember I actually watched this game live when it happened. Like, I wanted Philly to win so bad, because, like, seeing the same teams win over and over again is so boring, and I'm like, Philly, please win this. Please.
But the Spitfire, they also ran Dive on Shrine, which is going to be our first...
How's that so, Booming Bob?
It is going to be Tracer and Soldier instead. So trying to play the poke game, I figured London would probably...
2022 June Joust 4 bomb team fights went crazy.
Has gotten less aggressive and more
or maybe even 21.
dive, which means that
yeah, Season 4 copy bomb, that's it. The double bomb, that was chaos. Or like when you'd see like quadruple Winston. That was hilarious. Oh, the honest Soldier on Nepal. These were the days, man, when you could actually play Soldier and like no one would get mad at you. I miss this. This was like a genuine meta comp. Also, look at that Lucio Zen backline chat. No mercy to be found. This is some honest gameplay right here. Stage 2, like, we saw a little bit less mercy. We'd see teams run the Zen and the Lucio occasionally.
The Soldier 76.
I'm going to, Matthew. That is a plan for sure.
From Philadelphia, who they decided to try to pick, doesn't look like it's going to come through. Prophet Chester. Oh, it does. It does come through for Philadelphia Fusion. They're going to claim the point first. I thought with Fraggy getting near death himself that they wouldn't.
Carpe farm and a pulse bomb.
Slow encroachment on the side of the Fusion. They struggled with Nepal because they all in too quickly. That time, they take over the point itself and force London to contest them at closer range. That's when they find their opportunity.
OWL Season 1 was genuinely my main way of learning English. That's really cool. That's awesome.
And a lot of this matchup is going to be, you know, who can
OWL Season 1 is what made me truly find my passion for Overwatch.
Yes, absolutely. And you see both of our Zenyatas have the Transcendence up next, so it could be
one used.
Yep, Transcendence from both teams. The stick and the... This is when Bomb used to do a crap ton of damage. This is before they nerfed Pulse Bomb, so a Discord plus a Pulse Bomb would just murder a Winston. Like, full health didn't even matter. Wow.
That's going to slow London down even more.
I'm wondering how
he's already 60. Wait, he's already 60 to another one. Christ!
But sometimes it's worth swapping it away because you still have a chance to get a
how did he already get another? How does he almost have another pulse bomb already? Pre-ult charge nerf was something, man.
Philadelphia just kind of trying to make it tough for London to even get on the point right now.
A 2022 LA Valiant game for a laugh? What? I'm not watching any Valiant things post 2020, I can tell you that much. What are these Lucio Zen dive comps? Honest gameplay, that's what it is. This was right when Mercy had received like her first Valkyrie nerf, so teams were experimenting a bit more.
As he tries to find a couple picks, he's going to get Boombox, but then get eliminated by Fraggy. Philadelphia still in this one for now, but Poco, out of his mech. It's going to get
Poco.
And he does. Prophet still sitting on that pulse bomb.
Solid 99-0 lead though, you take those. Carpe still somehow finding kills through all this chaos. How does Neptuno kill Gesture? Wait, how did they lose two? That's crazy.
So they waited just long enough for the
Gotta watch the toilet bowl. Yeah, we're watching that one for sure.
At the end, that's when the tactical visor comes through.
I'm gonna do a bunch of these, chat, so we'll get to a lot of these ideas, I promise you. Profit lane, oh, just go for him, dude. Poco's nowhere to be found. I don't know why he's hesitating. Should've just threw the bomb out.
EQO there to protect his Zenyatta. And now the Transcendence comes in.
And now EQO can just clean it up.
People trying to stay alive, and here comes EQO with the Dragon Blade. He
Yep.
can win the point right now with this blade. It looks like he's nearly done it. Cutting the mech apart from Fury at the end of it too.
And the 8.
Goodbye, Prophet. He has to exit the fight. Overtime expiring, and it's actually gonna be Philadelphia.
An average diamond lobby is very harsh.
There is an excellent example, Doa, of how they've changed their dive play style.
Absolutely.
They were so much more patient.
And I don't see why it matters what the level of skill is. This is just how the game was played back then. You can't really hold that against them. I think it's really annoying when people make that argument.
Which allowed previously the Spitfire to jump
Like, who cares? Why does it matter what gameplay was like back then? Just enjoy it for what it is. This is the beginning of OWL. You know? This is when OWL was the best. Like, in terms of hype and people, like, actually giving it a chance, this is when OWL had the good old days. Interested in watching the Kongdu Runaway Finals? Yeah, I'll probably do that. Oh, here we go. The triple tank comp. This is one of my personal favorites. The triple tank, not with the Moira. I more so prefer when teams would run the Ana, but I love me some Reinhog Diva. When Al gave us Copium, yeah.
Really changing their strats this time around, and
now you see London, they're gonna counteract with their own little triple tank comp. Birdring's gonna play Reaper based.
With Reaper and triple tank with their own.
Didn't see that much Reaper in season 1. This is like the only time.
That's right, Carpe coming from behind, gonna get a good look at what's been
The Prophet Zarya, feel strong, man.
Right now, trying to flip it over. Just trying to stay strong, and there's Birdring taking out one tank already with that Reaper.
Back when teams could play what they wanted to without Brig ruining everything. Feel strong, man.
On this counter pick. Can they complete?
Back when there was like some uniqueness to running compositions. Carpe is owning. Carpe is absolutely owning.
Able to flip the point anyway and just
even when they're losing fights, he's still killing everything.
Throwback, Doa, to the London Spitfire of Stage 1. We saw them running more of this tank Reaper setup on Junkertown than any other team in the Overwatch League. But they know how to play the point, and they're not afraid of the Fusion, because the Fusion are also not.
They're cheering on London.
Shadowbird is out of the lineup. So it's gonna be a brawl. It's gonna be a brawl, Doa.
I miss when crowds would make these chants and stuff, bro. It's crazy. Hey, Dragon. Doing good. Fraggy's just in no man's land. Wait, he's shattered. Did he get Prophet with that shatter? Dude, how did no one on Philly die? Okay, there we go. EQO D-Mag. Oh yeah, I forgot. Philly would genuinely run EQO Diva sometimes. I forgot. When they wanted to play a Zarya, they preferred Poco Zarya because Poco Zarya was crazy. The EQO Diva, man. Little boombox replay. Yo, back when Lucius used to say, "Let's drop the beat," classic.
It is over, but instead it's just boombox free firing onto the.
Oh no, that is a very ambitious Death Blossom Birdring. What is that grab? Wait, okay.
Surge used Badoshin, though, caught by the pulse bomb on the Carpe side. Goodbye, Birdring again. Boombox finds him for the second fight in a row.
It probably didn't need that.
With the Transcendence to finish off the rest of
Prophet should have a free grab for the next fight.
They know the fight is lost, and they force the Transcendence out late from
Birdring going to J Silly based.
Available for the Fusion. Spitfire, they've got another fight.
Carpe first death. Like, yeah, he's been absolutely dominating on Nepal. Again, back in the day, Carpe was arguably a top 5 Tracer player in the league. I know by modern standards, like, he's not anything special at all, but during this time, man, he was good. That just solo grab Fraggy.
London swinging way.
Gesture, nice.
Comes in from Gesture in London in prime position to flip this one back again, but it's going to be at 99%.
I miss the honest Ryan Zarya.
They can flip it at all.
Without all the goats nonsense involved. The honest Ryan Zarya with a Lucio and you run it down mid. This was a good time.
Still in great shape. Because Bedosian died early on, they forced both the
Junkrat into Zarya and Diva. What does Burger know that we don't? This was just a typical counter back then, believe it or not. When teams were playing heavy tanks, you'd play Junkrat. Even if it was like Zarya or whatever, because you could just farm tire.
Otherwise, they're going to find themselves in a late round scenario without any protection.
6v6 or 5v5. I don't know. I had better times playing 6v6, but I think 5v5 objectively has been like a pretty good experience overall. There's things that suck about it, but I did enjoy it at certain points. 5v5. 6v6 just has the nostalgia factor though. 5v5 maybe has more of an opportunity to be balanced if they did it correctly, of course.
They flip it and we're back to overtime. 98% for London, but it may just be Philadelphia Fusion against all odds.
Oof. Took a map. Your favorite non-playoff or stage playoff match all time? Valiant versus Vancouver, Stage 3, 2019.
Is something that is going to keep them alive at least till King's Row.
All right,
suddenly there's life. Philly get a nice 2-0 on Nepal.
Anyone, maybe not even Philly themselves, expected to win.
Look at chat. Do you see that? Gesture is quite literally at full health, and he dies to a pulse bomb because he's discorded and Pulse did more damage. Like, Tracer was so insanely good back then. It's not even funny. Just being able to blow up a tank with Pulse Bomb like that is ridiculous.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC.
This is the game changer map here, I think, coming up. Hanamura was like a big moment in this series. I think it was at this moment that everyone realized Philly might actually have a shot at this.
Is going to play Dive on defense, even though they played Soldier Tracer on the defense, so more of a poke style composition.
Interesting. All right. Philadelphia, of course, will be the...
Every time someone says they prefer 6v6, my mom immediately jumps to the shock double shield bunker image and I get PTSD. Fair enough.
I don't think we'll have Poco on the Widowmaker, but...
I assume they're at least going to... Yeah, I assume they're going to try.
I think this is the map where Neptuno has like a crazy Ana game. Also, I distinctly remember Fraggy having like a pretty good map. He was a pretty big feeder on Winston, I feel like, during this time, but he played a very conservative Winston, like kind of playing more towards his back line, and it worked really well from what I can remember. Also, the based Ana Zen on Hanamura defense, classic. I freaking love the Ana Zen on Hanamura, man. One of the only times we'd see Ana gameplay in Owl Season 1. Hanamura, and then like Nimbani, and that was mostly it.
It's like whatever team can bait the other one into an inopportune dive is usually the one that can win the fight. Both these teams love to do that. Gesture going in. They're going to chase him down. Birdring falls.
I don't know how Boombox gets that kill there. That's crazy.
Kill for Boombox again. So what he made a name for.
It's interesting to see that London were still playing Prophet on Genji than Birdring on Tracer during this time, because I think at some point they just gave up and like perma put Birdring on Genji. I mean, Prophet can do either well, but you prefer his Tracer for sure.
One tick already though.
Boombox is going crazy. He's killed both DPS already this round.
They are dominating point A. They're going to get this eventually, Noah.
Wow.
Nano boost onto Birdring, but that is a desperation nano.
Why did they nano Birdring of all people there?
Start for Philadelphia Fusion here on Hanamura. They're going to take point A for sure. And can they carry this momentum into point B? Man, Prophet losing that blade without anything. That one stings a bit. Let's check that one out.
Let me see this Boombox replay.
He killed the Tracer earlier. He killed Birdring, and now
he bladed too. Holy. Yeah, Mammoth. Eventually, I'm gonna start doing basketball content. Probably when football ends, I'm gonna focus on basketball.
the Dragon Blade, and Philly coming up on 6 ults.
Or at least
now.
put some effort into it.
On the London side, Boombox is going to drop his as well for Philly. Fraggy with the Primal Rage. They force Carpe out of it. He's got to get back to the point right now. Ooh, Fraggy.
You know who was really fun at the Ana Zen Hanamura, New York?
Looks like they barely can't quite do it. He couldn't make it to his healers in time. And now it's time
Friggin' Ark's Ana was honestly kind of based back then, like just pocketing Jonak. Dynasty were fun to watch too, putting Jaehong on Ana and like Toby Lucio, good times. 638 on the time bank, yeah, classic 2 CP.
They're able to get some of their own ults up. That could have been a massive snowball from the Fusion.
They did a little story with Kyo. He had actually been plat and grinded up the top 500. That's awesome. I was beyond pissed that they didn't play Fraggy and Goats. I mean, I remember making videos back then saying like hashtag free Fraggy. That was ages ago. That was literally like 6 years ago. Isn't that crazy? Fun fact, chat, with New Year's coming around, it's been, what, 2019, 2022, 2024. It's been 6 years since I made my New Year's resolution to grind YouTube. Look how that turned out. Prophet dead, EQO gonna try and be clutch with this blade. Nope. Hey, what's going on, Keon?
The attack continues maybe for Philly. No, they may have to back off with this one. Milling around near the high ground.
I think if you're EQO, you have to save that blade. He does switch
Most
over to the
overrated sport. I don't know if I have an opinion on that because I haven't really played enough different sports / watched them to give an opinion on that.
On the side of the Philadelphia Fusion to come up with a big Dragon Blade play there will be EQO now trying to push forward.
Who do you think was the most fun character to watch in the league? Tracer was pretty fun. Ana, probably my top 3 were probably like Tracer, Ana, Genji, I think.
Some Zenyatta shots rather. There we go. Meanwhile, Primal Rage comes out for Gesture. There's a Transcendence from Boombox. Once again, trying to keep people alive.
EQ on the Soldier base. What match is this? London versus Philly Stage 2 playoffs. You're 11 when this happened? My god. Making me feel very old. The Philly versus Paris rewatch. It'll happen eventually.
Could have gone Philly's way, but they couldn't quite pull it off. They will have the tack visor though for the next push.
I'm gonna do like I was saying before, if you're just joining, I'm gonna do a bunch of these watch parties because hey, there's nothing else to do, right? There's no Overwatch league.
Damage percentage from the Lucio, but I don't know.
Which Season 1 player were you hoping turned out better? Jaehong or probably Miro?
Aggressive defense. They can't let the Soldier get onto the high ground. He should be the first
Tavik also. I was a pretty big Tavik fan. He didn't really pan out in OWL. Shadowburn's a good one too.
If you can get that Soldier up on the high ground with the tactical.
Then again, they kind of just benched Shadowburn. He usually played well.
DQO backs away. The dive comes in from London again.
By bed sheets, New York Knicks. The B? Probably didn't need that B. I don't know why Neptuno beat it there, but sure. Now Prophet, I mean, if he can get back, has a chance to turn it with a clutch blade. Also, they're not even on point right now. They used B and they used Visor and Pulse, and they're just going to lose anyway. What was that? Poco's using Bomb to remake, okay.
Well, they didn't have any pressure on the point, Toa, so you could use the sound barrier and the tack visor, but it was a
the Jaehong Toby interview, yeah.
Yes, you get the DMAC onto Fury.
Thoughts on OG for Barrett and IQ? Mixed feelings. I'm gonna miss IQ, but long term it could work out because Barrett, in my opinion, sucks, and they didn't want to even re-sign IQ, so could work out for the better in the end. But OG's got to stay. Oh, Bird Ring.
By that one. Oh, big plays for London, and now the efficiency with those.
Which Overwatch 2 character would be the most interesting if you put them into early OWL? That's an excellent question.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at this replay, too. You can see Bird Ring going to come around the side, and there's a Dragon Blade there, too. So they force out the trance, but that clusters everybody up.
Yep.
You can see the DPS making a Philadelphia sandwich. I think there's a name for that.
I think so. Doesn't come to mind at the moment. I don't know what you're talking about. Boombox down early. Nano boost onto Fury.
Kyrie or Sojourn, yeah. Honestly, Kyrie or Lari could be fun because, like, fragging flex supports.
In the time bank, they need to make something happen quick.
Jericho would have been broken, yeah.
Stalled out right here on point B.
Ram would be really fun to watch in early Owl. Imagine how he'd like work with like these triple tank comps. Like substitute the Rhine for like a Ram, then have like the Diva Zarya or like Hog or whatever. Or maybe even Ram and Rhine for all we know. That could be pretty interesting to see how that works. Queen and quad tank. Yo, Queen would be kind of busted though.
Yeah, he does.
I feel like she probably would have made it so we see less Zen.
60 seconds remaining here as Fraggy jumps onto the high ground to join the rest of his team. He's going to use
Ram Zarya would be insane. That would be pretty nuts. Again, these beats by Neptuno have been so weird. Seeing Jonek on Alarm makes my mouth water. Wait, Gesture's on Hog? Wait a second. When did this happen? Bedosian on May to stall. They got Gesture on Roadhog right now. Okay.
Yeah, they are going to switch back. So Bedosian now resetting on the Zenyatta after moving to the May. Is Gesture going to stay on the Roadhog? No. Winston, it will
okay, so they have Nano Blade here to kind of finish it up.
Use the Transcendence to deal with that. Gesture presumably will be the boost.
Lifeweaver unironically could have been maybe decent during this time period. Nano Blade?
They gotta go in with this attack right now. Philadelphia trying their best, but
here
comes a Nano Blade.
Boom. Oh, still kills him anyway.
And that's a problem for Philly already. Nuss down there.
Oh, EQO with the dash. Wait, hold up. Wait, EQO, he's cleaning it up. EQO with the clutch.
They've got one tick at least. Going for two. They've got 2 ticks.
EQO got like 4 kills. Goddamn.
They've got the healing, and in the last moment,
EQO with the pop off.
take 2 points.
Heroic attack from the Fusion, but
Hear me out, Pine on Sojourn, get it going on the overclock flanks. That sounds incredible.
They needed to keep track of the Transcendence.
Honestly, Sojourn would have been so awesome because of like the amount of Widow we were seeing. Imagine like seeing like Prime Pine and Saya Player and Carpe like all going at each other on Sojourn. That would have been fun as hell.
Could have been so much more. Philadelphia exploit that, stick to the point, ignore the nano boosted.
I mean, yeah, EQO had a lot of great moments in season 1. Like unironically, Thor.
Side too, you gotta wonder what the comms were like. You know, maybe they kind of lost track that Boombox might have his ultimate up there.
I think, did Philly have a good defense here? I don't remember. The details are a little hazy. I just remember Neptuno doing some good stuff on. I'm really excited to watch
They
it.
needed a bit more.
Yeah, but I think like also just
Dude, the jerseys were so fresh back then. I don't know why they got rid of those jerseys.
There a bit longer.
I agree.
So I think it was just a.
These jerseys were like such high quality. And like the stitching too.
Before he was able to
So much better than the modern stuff we have. It's not even close.
But it just didn't work out. Boombox was
Poco
quick
casually
on
on
the
tour.
trigger. Philly handled the ultimate economy much better.
That's easy for us to say, man. We've got the bird's eye view. We can see all.
That's right. That's right. It is easier for us to say, especially after the fact.
A painting sideshow on that roof. Why would they do that?
It's a beautiful sideshow picture.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, why don't we just give up on this and go fly a kite? Huh?
Classic random Doa commentary.
I mean, is a windsock a type of kite, though? Or is a kite a type of modified windsock?
What are we talking about? What is this deep conversation Doa's having with the audience right
Yeah,
now?
they're going to be running McCree. So
Burdering Cass is a very interesting choice here.
quite punishing because of some positional errors the Fusion made, but they're making way fewer.
You know what,
positional
like,
errors this time
my
around than they
Overwatch
should be
2
expecting
brain
McCree
at this
because
point
they've
is
seen
like so
from
used to Winston having his secondary fire now, like, I'm like confusing Overwatch 2 with Overwatch 1, where I'm like, why are they just sitting there staring? Why aren't they secondary firing? Why aren't they spamming?
Coming out on top of that one in the end.
Why aren't they trying to snipe from a distance? I'm like, oh wait, Winston doesn't have that in Overwatch 1. When you really look back at it, it was genuinely a good quality of life change to give him that secondary fire, just for like the extra poke.
There'll be another setup here. Birdring is going to stick to the Cowboy.
Yeah, diving in now are the London Spitfire. Poco back in there. Carpe a little bit on the side here. Needs to run back to his healers for the moment.
Yeah, Hex was a caster back during this time.
Flank man going after the supports. He needs a bit more help there, maybe.
How did Birdring die?
In the form of Carpe to finish off Birdring.
Birdring was caught outside of the central choke point. He couldn't make it through because his tanks were trying to collapse onto Fraggy, and Fraggy simply
Unfortunate.
jumped away. So
Fraggy simply jumped away. Badoshin dies with Trance. It's a 1-for-1 though. Oh, Boombox!
1v1. And Philadelphia Fusion still holding here on A. Man, Boombox has really been performing great in the last two maps.
Yeah, he has.
True.
That's honestly
Boombox has been going crazy. He's been getting a lot of kills on Prophet and Birdring.
Wasn't his fault. It was the fault.
This was a good time too, even though it felt like the Tracer would win a lot of the time if your name wasn't Jonak. These Tracer Zen battles were fun. Team fights were so much more chaotic, yeah. Not nearly as organized. Very early Valk from those. Fraggy? I don't know what he's doing, but he's out.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
A Nano and a Primal for that, yikes. Surely London turned this now, right? Surely, Clueless. Nuss is just oh. Okay, you forced Trance there, so it could be worse.
From the Zenyatta on the London side.
Gonna be creeping around EQO. Is gonna find any targets.
EQO with the clutch again?
But his supports are already dead. Both supports from the Fusion are down.
I mean, that swipe onto Prophet though, that swipe was enough. And somehow they turn it. Oh my god, when you didn't deal 1 million damage for remeching. When remech only did like 5 damage or 10 damage, whatever it was. I was about to say, like, why did he die from remech? Oh wait.
But it looks like this may be it.
No, they're not going to be able to stop them, but London is not going to come in.
Little does Monty know, they're going for the recontest. Yo, Mir. The recontest.
There's the self-destruct. That's right.
Big Nano. Huge amount of space there. Gesture slept.
That's a big pulse from Carpe. Fraggy as well. Both Winston's out of commission.
Birdring gets denied. And they somehow turn in the final hour.
They may just have done it.
Probably like 80-something%.
And it's only Badoshin and Nuss, just the London supports that are alive.
That's a big stagger.
Now.
Oh,
stagger is huge.
That's going to take Fusion. And that's going to take the most.
I forgot one used to play more than Rhine, bro. Wonder if this Carpe fellow will ever win the league. Oh, surely. He has such a bright future ahead of him. And now they're back on Cass again. Like, London's having a very bizarre attack. Like, you can feel the tide turning at this point. It's like, uh-oh. London weren't ready for this.
But it's a great start for Philly. Now the primal range, and EQO wants to put this one to bed right now.
Oof, full hold by Philly Fusion. Sheesh. Neptuno and Boombox.
And they will deal the first Hanamura loss to the Spitfire of the Overwatch League.
Wait. That's the first time London lost on Hanamura in the entire season up until this point. We are halfway through Overwatch League Season 1 at this point, and that was their first Hanamura loss. That is absurd. Imagine if Alarm was allowed in Owl Season 1. Oh my god, Philly would have been so much better. I mean, even during this time, Alarm was being compared to like a prime Jonak. Holy frick, man. Oh, hi, Stylosa. Is that my father, Fraggy? It is. Best OWL player to never win a trophy. There's a handful of them.
The official PCU display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official.
Let me see them Neptuno honest stats, though. Oh, never mind. They're not impressive. Okay, moving on. What does Zoe have to say for us? Back when Zoe was like a reporter.
At home watching. Wow. That's all I have to say right now is just wow. The desk certainly did not expect this outcome so far, and I mean, yeah, Gibraltar was a bit of a one-sided affair, and I talked to the Fusion that said they just didn't really know how to deal with Birdring on Widowmaker. So I looked at their coach and was like, really, you didn't expect Widowmaker on Gibraltar? And he said, well, yeah, we did, but it's Birdring on Widowmaker, and that just makes it really hard, and I guess everyone in here...
You have two fathers, Frag and Cloudy. Understandable. I can respect it.
Well, Fusion certainly surprised London on that map, took it away, and now they just won Hanamura. And when I talked to them,
now they're on game point.
They said, if we win Hanamura, We got this. This means we will be 3-1ing the London Spitfire.
Yeah, I didn't realize the context. I didn't realize London were literally undefeated on Hanamura. Like, that's like a huge game changer. That probably gave them a lot of confidence that they could close this thing out.
Can they take it away? What do you guys think? Well, seems like the audience definitely believes in the fusion, but for now, let's see what they have for us. We're heading back to our casters for all the action.
All right, thank you, Zoe. Wow, what an awesome series this has become. I am so
Awesome.
this didn't go the way the desk thought about it. One of the most awesome moments, perhaps, so far was Neptuno's defense on point A in the last map we just saw, getting some sick sleep darts. Monty, take us into it.
Yeah, let's take a look at this replay, because Neptuno and Boombox were really the heroes of Hanamura, and we're going to take a look at this last defense. Bio Grenade, Nano Boost, and there's the sleep dart.
That sleep, yeah, so big.
Gesture up either, and that gives them the win.
Back when tank players would stay asleep for like the whole duration too, before they nerfed that.
Right as he's about to wake up with the pulse bomb, so fantastic team.
Prime Ons in Season 1 is something I wish was a
I don't think
thing.
they're able to hold point A, but Boombox was also playing very well, getting a bunch of kills onto ulting members, ulting DPS, especially those Genjis that we saw on the side of the London Spitfire. So it's been a great series for the Fusion thus far.
Absolutely, and you know, when all of us were talking before this match began, we said, all right, well, if they can make it through the first 3 maps, if they can...
As an NYXL fan, why you gotta do this? I mean, hey, they won back then, though. They were good back then.
These maps, Kings Row and Route 66, are arguably their best ones out of the 5 we're going to see them play today, potentially. And now here we are. They've got the lead, actually, going into Kings Row. They could end the series right
Oh, yeah,
here.
this Kings Row was wild.
We come into Kings Row, we look at the wins. Fusion is 3-1 on this map. It's the worst map in the pool for the Spitfire. They're 2-3. So now the Spitfire in a do-or-die situation on their worst map.
Yeah, Season 1 rosters were very big, yep. Because teams had the budget to get people back then, unless you're the Florida Mayhem, apparently, who had, like, no players at all at the start of the season. They had, like, no bench players. It's kind of crazy.
Into coalescence combos that were brutal.
Not something we see as often either, because a lot of Moiras right now will save that coalescence for when they need to get the big healing onto multiple people, onto the tanks on their team. But you can use it into the Graviton Surge to get a lot of damage done too once in a while. So
oh, the honest Kings Row during the good old days. Give me a Rein Zarya. It is time for a Rein Zarya Fraggy and maybe Poco combination? We'll see.
Yeah, and we do have to pay special
Florida certainly did come a long way, yeah. Their first 2 years were abysmal.
Both of these teams have to
London also playing a pretty vintage comp during the time.
Statistics, these 2 players on Kings Row are #1 and #2 in Graviton.
The classic Orisa Junk Widow.
Number of eliminations per grav.
Is this the Jester Widow game? Don't think so.
Extremely well off of the Zarya ult.
When Doom wasn't a tank, yeah. So no Zarya, but they're gonna play like a Slambulance with Carpe and Hanzo.
They're gonna go for the picks.
Oh yeah, this this is Scatter Arrow Hanzo, chat.
Already into the hotel. Our Philadelphia Fusion.
Back when Hanzo rarely saw playtime.
Dash up and launch into the enemy. So we're
Oh, he's going for it, chat. Scatter Arrow. Got him. Scatter Arrow. Sheesh.
Comes in and Philadelphia Fusion steamrolls point A.
You have to expect that. We've seen Hanzo's come up in the rear window before.
Yep.
And if they're not attacking your high ground position, but that's smart. Target the Widow first.
Prophet somehow got a rip tire. That's crazy.
Junkrat hard point that you have to dive
the reason why that ability is removed, yeah.
Concussion mines. So much different.
I mean, it really was an RNG ability. You shoot at their feet, sometimes it worked, sometimes it wouldn't. Poco's gonna play Zarya. Now the honest Rein Zarya Hanzo. Imagine bringing back Scatter Arrow. That'd be absurd.
Gonna take a while before we have that Zarya ultimate. Now Prophet sending in his Reptile early.
What? No, Prophet with the choke.
Neptuno didn't take any damage.
Nah, man.
Now Philadelphia trying to push through this defense from London. Fraggy goes down early, though. So London striking back, EQO in the thick of it there. But he's got the shield. The Dragon Strike comes through early. They tried to trap them all in the little, I think, bookstore there. I don't know, but it didn't end up working as well as they hoped. It looks like London are going to push them back for the moment.
Yeah, they are. Carpe still trying to fire in to whittle down this Reinhardt shield in the meantime. Poco coming up on an ultimate, however. Carpe only at 60%. Are they going to hold it or are they going to use it now? Shatter comes down.
Oh, big
Shatter is massive.
Yikes.
That's right, counter Shatter used. And there goes
Another scatter arrow kill. Poggers.
Carpe abused the counter shatter by having his scatter arrow up. So even though they got multiple members of the fusion, there's no follow-up damage.
Nope. That means that
It's kind of funny looking back at it. You know, London won the title, but there was a bunch of teams that gave them a lot of trouble. It was like Philly, Houston,
Graviton is here too.
obviously New York, but like the upset teams.
They're actually going to go ahead and use the Dragon Strike early there.
Oh wait, they ate that grab. Fury ate that grab.
Don't get any kills out of it, and now the sound barrier comes in. Both support ultimates used by London as they try to force Philly back. Philly just
Oh, Gladiators. That was the other team I was thinking of. The Fissure Redemption arc. Carpe is dominating.
Lighting up that kill feed on the Hanzo and Poco.
Yeah, as fun as it was for London fans, there were some nightmare scenarios too. Like Fissure living rent-free in your head. Friggin' losing to the Outlaws all the time for some reason. Philly bullying you in the regular season. They had the last laugh in the end, but it's funny to look back at it. There's some pretty frustrating moments.
On the clock as they charge into point C.
It looks so unlikely after they botched
4.5 minute time bank. You got grab. Oh, Poco wants it.
Pushes them off temporarily, but can't maintain their foothold.
We've seen this before.
Back for another grab.
Oh dear, we've seen this with Reinhardt.
Here comes the Colossus. You ready, Noah?
Oh, man.
Got him! It's big!
Here comes the combo. Profit down. London manages to scatter out of it pretty well, actually.
London still turn it, though.
That would have been much worse. Yeah. So a great grab.
I was gonna say Seoul, they're trash. Seoul was trash against all of the best teams. They were so disappointing.
They're confident that there wasn't going to be a 180 matrix.
Seoul and Dallas were both giant disappointments. They were two of the best, they're supposed to be two of the best teams, and neither of them made the playoffs.
But it falls a hair short.
You know, Philadelphia is still with a lot of ultimates.
Was London the least dominant champ? In terms of like the season as a whole, yeah, you could argue that, but in the playoffs they were so good. They destroyed everyone. In the playoffs they only dropped a couple of maps the entire time. I thought that tire was safe, but I guess not. Counter Shatter. Now he's gonna feed though. Why did he charge? Why did Gesture charge there? Oh my goodness.
Wasn't enough. Now they're gonna have to drop the sound barrier to try to win this defensive fight. They do get Neptuno, so good start from London.
Carpe casually doing Carpe things again.
Starting to pop some heads, man, and the rest of Philadelphia following up.
Yeah, they have to fall back now. Profit Solo will get eliminated. Carpe.
Ooh, so close.
Dude, look where he's going. He's in. Oh wait.
Carpe's in your window. That's a
classic
thing to think about.
Classic Doa line. Carpe's in your window. It's a terrifying thing to think about. Love Doa. Dude, Carpe is just. Carpe was a different breed, dude.
With over 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
A respectable time to be sure on King's Row. And now it's going to be.
Carpe is one of the best players back then, man. MVP candidate, dominant.
What it sounds like if you're the Philadelphia Fusion taking point A, well, you can find out right now.
Okay. I'm flanking.
I'm flanking, casually with the scatter arrow. Carpe just like as calm as ever. Hey, I got one, guys.
I like it that when Carpe
Put the clip at
rolls up the
.3
wall
ND.
there and takes
Thinking
down
of
the
Fled, I
Waymaker,
think.
I got one. Jonathan's like, oh, hey, that's a pretty big
Carpe
one,
versus
actually,
Striker
That's what you
season
want,
1,
though,
yeah.
calm communication where everybody has room to be
Carpe
heard.
carried
Amazed
so
sometimes
hard.
that this
Season
Philadelphia
1 Carpe is one of the
understand each
biggest
other because
carries
they've
in
got
OWL
like 9
history.
different accents, so listening into their comms can be confusing for me, who's not
Sounds
used
good,
to the
Penguin.
way
Thanks for
every
hanging out.
single
Fraggy was a literal Viking,
words.
indeed, and I loved every second of it. Especially when he got to play Ryan. So fun.
I'm sure they're used to it after a while, but it is very entertaining to listen to. But you can see
Really makes me wish we got
everybody has
Fraggy and
plenty of room
Goats.
to get
It's
their comms in.
unfortunate.
They
That
seem
was his time.
cool and collected.
They do. And, you know, we've said it before in this series, but this really is a very different Philadelphia Fusion team than we saw the last time they played London.
Yeah, Poco without any facial hair. He
Individual
looks
plays
so
cleaned up
young.
So much. Their team plays cleaned up so much. EQO has become a bigger part of this team than he was then.
I guess the real difference is that they're just more patient. They're more patient and they're waiting for
London, Philly triple tank with the Carpe Widow. Love it. After swapping Widow, Carpe recorded 2k damage, 6 final blows, and 1 death in 2 minutes. Okay, nice.
On the Roadhog and Carpe on the Widow. So Spitfire should be aware of this.
Yeah, triple tank and Junkrat for them, as they're just going to roll right onto the point.
Hey, yo, the attack Junkrat based. Burberry is farming a tire.
Well, their idea is just run all 5 people.
2/3 already, not even 30 seconds.
Where Carpe could get a shot. Now Fury goes up there to knock him off of the high ground with the Matrix. They make him look.
That is a
so just
wild
roll
attack
in
for London.
and try and contest with a Lucio speed boost, cut off Carpe, and that's.
He's got tire already.
Birdring has a rip tire.
Well, it's just good research and good prediction by London.
Yeah, believe it or not, Mir, but no, he was not born with a beard.
I think
better get the shots.
Yeah, and you also knock.
Oh, of course, Philly would never be the same without Carpe. He's so important to their legacy.
Through it very quickly, especially when you have the Junkrat.
Shatter tire, perhaps? Oh, nope, just gonna roll them. This is a damn good response from London. You can't really draw it up much better. 2 clean fights in a row.
That was a gesture that no one's gonna forget.
Those are those classic cheesy dad jokes I remember from Monty and Doa.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's right. Watch those gestures.
So now
they're always entertaining, though. That's for sure.
That is definitely for sure. Birdring with the rip tire still, so another opportunity to get a pick here. Carpe's going to use the Infrasight, try and flank. This is a flanking Widow.
Yeah, that's right. Rip tire coming in on the side as well.
Flanking Widow gets in nice.
The tire, though, not quite.
Where? Oh, there you go. I was gonna say, you gonna do something with that?
Tire would get through. Actually, Carpe just bouncing over Fury.
So London are going absolutely insane right now.
And that's a blazingly fast point B. Holy cow.
Yeah, Carpe needs to swap. It was cute to try and use the Infrasight to punish the Riptire. He actually flanked around the entire formation of the Spitfire and punished Birdring while he was immobile.
No, Meatball, I think it was going to happen regardless because they operated out of Seoul for like, how many years? Like 3 years?
All right, London Spitfire coming in now.
A sneaky grab.
To the wall to grab Fraggy. They're going to try to burn him down. He's down. London.
I remember when teams used to do that constantly, like the wall grabs.
On the side of Fusion to try to push back again.
They want to keep going too. They're going to use beat here.
They're going for it, man. They haven't lost anybody, so why not? Sound barrier on the Philly side.
Oh, keeping EQ up there is so huge.
Prophet is mega charged right now.
Yeah, Prophet's half to another grab. Old charge back then was something else.
Turn it all around with a big earth shatter. We've seen it before. Gotta do it right now, man. Fraggy trying to get behind the shield. He's so low though.
How is he alive?
Trying to do it. No, just a Moira on their side. They managed to keep him alive. He was on like 50 health. He's charging in. He's
Fraggy.
Fraggy right now. A long-range charge. Fraggy in a nutshell right there, guys.
Beautiful charge. And that's going to push them back. Fusion stabilizing on point C. Spitfire still have a ton of time in the bank.
Philly did this somewhat consistently, where EQO would play like either Diva or Hog with these heavy tank compositions.
Nods while a single tear rolls down his cheek. London push back for
the tire. Pause champ.
Ring with the rip tire. Ooh, maybe gonna find Poco here. Poco flees for life.
Matrixing the tire.
Oh, Fraggy though gets caught.
Nice. That was pretty clean from Fury. Oh, Fury ate that grab.
Is going to be used by Poco, but it looks like that one was eaten.
I think
This is before they'd actually have something on the feed for when you ate the grab. Wow.
The support's getting eaten by the damage. For Philly, Carpe finds a shot onto Nuss. They weren't
Potentially players off for a moment's 3.
He's creeping around the back. He has an Earth Shatter, but they know where he is.
Can they touch?
Yeah,
No.
Nobody's there. Whoa. Okay. Well, I guess that's
Back when Junkrat was a hero. True.
Pushes the payload all the way through. You saw Fraggy try to charge at the very end of that.
Yeah.
He caught the edge of the doorway and kind of got stopped. Couldn't make it to the payload. 3:49 in the time bank for London.
It also was Poco who.
As a Fusion fan, this is my favorite match in the history of Overwatch League. Can't blame you. It was a really good one.
Understandable from the Fusion.
Very exciting, especially because no one really saw it coming.
Fraggy going for the big play.
Yeah.
So now will be the Philadelphia Fusion.
Yeah, Fury at his peak.
And we'll see if they can
Goated diva player.
Kings Row. They are coming
Just knew how to use that Matrix better than anyone else.
Minute and a half or so.
You kind of have to do
Less
something.
than. Oh, sorry.
You're forgiven.
Thank you very much.
You kind of have to do something different if you're Philly this time, right? Because now London should be expecting the Hanzo, or at least checking for it.
Yeah, you do have to, I think, respect that a bit more. And what I like about what London's doing is they're going...
Yes, back when tank players would scout and see if they could find something with Widow before swapping.
This has
been a real good trip down memory lane. I am enjoying this.
Necessarily being a Pharah on the enemy team. And again, both of these teams in this matchup are sort of
honestly, Philly should play Pharah here and probably do some real numbers.
So you can get some of these weird compositions that are just so Junkrat and tank focused.
Carpe back on the Hanzo again. He's not going to be able to sneak kill the Widowmaker this time. Birdring is on that Junkrat, like you mentioned. But he can still try to find those shots. Oh, they're going to try to dive him early.
Jesus, Fraggy got melted.
Take it out fast.
And now that they're off the Orisa, they're fighting aggressively for the point. This is a barrier battle between Reinhardts that we're seeing. And Hanzo, if he wants to keep up with the DPS into the barrier of the Junkrat, has to use his scatter into the barrier, which is not really ideal, right? You don't want to give up that cooldown.
Yeah, we saw him try to get a shatter onto the Moira on the other side too, but didn't find that one.
Gestur's never missed a headshot on Widow. True.
Carpe, propped up by his teammates. Are they going to go in? Jesper has the Earth Shatter. He drops it. Doesn't get a lot of people.
What did Gesture do with that shatter?
On the other side, though.
Yeah, they did get Boombox, so chance here for them to group up once again while Fury still does not have his mech available to him.
At 1:30 in the time bank now for Philadelphia Fusion. About a minute eaten up so far here.
Profit a little bit ahead when it comes to the race towards the grab.
Uh-oh, Riptire's...
Yeah, Hanzo, no leap, no storm arrow. Almost killed Poco.
Birdring finds that one.
He nearly got Poco too. That was super close.
How many bullets did he shoot? One.
On top of the wall to hit both sides.
Oh, the grab too? Just
comes in. Where's the follow-up damage
oh, Neptuno used to beat Ajax. Oh no.
Now Poco falls. That's enough. And just a minute remaining for Philly.
But Neptuno was killed during his ult animation, so they didn't get the
tragic.
Now they're not going to have it for the next push.
Oh man.
So here we go again. Gesture has the Earth Shatter, and they're also sitting on top of Nuss's sound barrier. Philly with 5 ults, though.
That's right. They got to use them right now.
Poco has no charge.
Yeah, trying to get it.
They got eaten.
Oh, Fury.
That's like Fury's third gravity.
Strike in there anyway. London, though, the ones coming up with the big.
That was too predictable, man.
Just too strong, keeping everybody up in Philadelphia, looking like they might not even be able to take A. They've got 15 seconds and one last desperate attack to do.
Carpe's gonna swap to Genji. That's cursed.
They're gonna have their support ults, but how are they going
Ain't no way Carpe's playing Genji into this. Good luck, soldier.
We'll find out, man. Fury coming in from behind. Riptire. Birdring gonna try to shut this one down as we go into overtime right now. Self-destruct over the top, no kills.
3. There it is. Yo, Birdring's Junkrat went hard.
Looks like they are not going to allow a single tick on point A for Philadelphia Fusion in time bank. Wow.
Full health, looking real good for London. Solid adjustments. It looked like they were down bad for like the first half of this map.
The charge from Gesture onto Neptuno while he's in his sound barrier animation. and then you come back again and have the long-range grab eaten from Poco. You can tell they're adjusting now. Poco has gotten those long-range grabs before in this map, but not.
Here it is. Here's the
again. They saw
Ajax.
the Dragon Strike setup, and check this out.
He was way too late. I don't know what he was waiting for.
Gesture.
It was just so close. It was so close. And Neptuno did the right thing. The timing was just slightly off, and there was no
Birdring
way to
learning the
stop
rat from his
run.
father,
Coming in, he
Seagull.
had the Zarya bubble on him.
Gesture taking the let's break it down a little bit too seriously. It's like, no.
And breaking him down at the end?
Yeah, he broke him down. And Lucio should really be like, well, I don't know what I expected.
I asked for this.
I invited this upon myself, really, when it comes down to it.
Well, now this is going to have to be a heroic defense on the side of the Philadelphia Fusion. And wouldn't it be wild going to Game 5 with each of the sort of safe maps in this series, Nepal for the Spitfire and Kings Row for the Fusion, where we really expected them to win, going to the opposite team.
Hey, either way, we're going to a map 5, and that makes me happy, man.
Absolutely.
London Spitfire.
You know what's funny, chat, is with this setup, map 5 ends up being escort, just like in the modern day. What goes around comes around, and it all goes full circle. That's where we're at now in the modern day. Map 5 escort. Map 5 is escort here too, for some strange reason.
On the Reinhardts, they just get to swing for a while. That looks like fun. They're on the point right now. London pushing forward.
It's the Reinhardt dream right here.
That's right. Birdring from behind, trying to keep the team a bit separated.
Dude, Birdring is freaking farming.
Avoided some of the damage, but not all of it.
Birdring playing Hotel by himself.
Oh.
They have to kill Carpe.
Damn.
They had to get that kill. Carpe dropped onto the low ground to shoot through Hotel. It was before that Birdring just punishing.
Headshot machine over here, Carpe.
Finds another one. London losing
There's a big
people.
shatter on the point right now.
Oh, if he hit that, man.
Taken out by the Coalescence on the other side there without their Reinhardt. An opportunity for London to push through. The Rip Tires got
Another ceiling tire here, Pause Champ.
Have to get there. The percent is
it's
ticking.
so close. Birdring gets Neptuno. Can anyone get there?
Fury just ate another grab. Make that 4.
The self-destruct comes in though for the Diva. Fraggy meanwhile without that.
Fury's living rent-free in Poco's head.
Take Kings Row. We are tied up 2-2.
Wow, Doa, and we are going to go now into Route 66, another map that we haven't seen.
All right, this is where Snillo plays, chat. Let's go, Snillo. All right, let's go. It's Snillo time. Does they have his ult eaten on here? Probably not. Unfortunate. Oh, wait, that's Zarya. Why do they have his Zarya stats? He played Zarya for like 5 seconds. Okay. Snillo time. Wait, let's take a look at this beautiful man. Pre-Forest Snillo.
For the reason that we are going to see a substitution, an interesting.
This was such a ballsy substitution. Like, at the end of a series, having not played any of the maps so far, Snillo comes in, like, cold as ever to play Tracer.
Pretty clear telegraph that they want Carpe on the
Snillo's Tracer was low-key really fun to watch. Played a really sneaky Tracer from what I remember.
On this map. So they're going to diverge from their previous.
What are we watching after this? Philly versus New York, stage finals.
And Shadowburn, who is in on the Sombra.
That's right, and you keep in mind too.
I was also pretty convinced that they were throwing with this sub.
An undefeated map again for London Spitfire.
But this was like a genuine strat that Philly would run. Snillo on Tracer on route, and it worked. It was like a very solid strategy for them. Pretty good win rate from what I can remember.
Was to London in that week 2 match.
Still, that was before I think they developed more patience. And if you guys are interested really in the difference between Snillo and Carpe on the Tracer, Snillo is very sneaky.
Yeah.
See, Monty knows what's up.
The big long flanks. He's patient in the way that he will wait for supports to get very far ahead of him from the enemy team and then come in and pick them off and sort of maximize the amount of time it takes for the enemy team to regroup and respawn. So he also can be found on the flanks at the same time. So it is a bit of a high risk, high reward play style, but he is a sneaky one.
Yeah, he does occupy a lot of teams' attentions in that a lot of Tracers will just be on your flank, poking you, building up that pulse bomb, and he'll really
Yes, this
wait
is
for
before
the moment where
Snillo
he
started
can
harvesting his
absolutely assassinate somebody.
mushrooms.
And that's scary if you're a team playing against it, because you really have to be looking out for where that tracer is, and if you miss it, well,
Beer
hey,
didn't
that's
start watching
that's a lot
OWL
of
until like, what was it, 2020, I think he said, so that's why he does not know the meme, or who Snillo even is. 3 of the top 5 players, including Fury, whose stats on Route 66, are Spitfire
It will be
players.
Tracer and Widowmaker. So Birdring really opting into these duels against the Fusion.
What happened to Snillo, after he left OWL, he kind of just disappeared. Apparently he's like picking mushrooms in the forest with his grandmother or whatever. That's what the rumor is. I don't know how true or not true that is, but that is what has been said.
In the grand finals for stage 2, they put themselves in the
God,
position
again, I'm so used to seeing Winston with the secondary fire. When you jump up like that, like, you just be spamming, but you can't. He has no secondary fire.
Birdring going to be popping up second as they readjust their
This, though, like, a Tracer Widow map like this is when you want to bring in Snillo. Oh, the damage boost, one shot in the body.
And what a shot to keep things going, I guess. Both Prophet and Carpe res, though, after dying, but there goes Birdring. Snillo found him, snuck into the backlines and got him. Neptuno and Boombox falling for Philly, so London does eliminate the support.
How did Carpe get another kill? That's
Keep
crazy.
the payload going on the Philly side, and yeah, they will fall back.
Well, they can keep it going, Dom, because they're going to have the respawn. It's going to be a 6 versus 4 here as Birdring sprints back into the mix.
I miss when Widow was played like this, you know? Like part dive, and not just like these lame like shield bunker poke comps.
Not get any additional picks in that period. And Fury doubling back to be healed up. Nuss with
Watch this match as a kid on Disney XD. I remember when they'd play games on Disney XD and ESPN. That's another eat by Fury. Oh my god, Snillo. The one clip. Sneaky Snillo. He low-key was really good on route. He's like the secret weapon.
Carpe has come to play today.
He sure has.
Carpe really has come to play. He's going crazy.
These grinding victories will head in the Fusion's favor the longer this goes.
Well, Jester has to back off at the end of his ultimate to get some healing here. Maybe Pulse Bomb, possibly into the corridor. Snill's gonna toss it in. Damage happens, but yeah, the Transcendence denying a lot of that from Neptuno. Meanwhile,
Snillo's just cleaning it up.
Crazy on this Tracer for a second before Birdring shuts him down. It's been so back and forth on point A.
Yeah, they're live big, but they only did some of the games. It was like very specific matchups. A lot of the time, I think it was like stage playoff games. I don't think they would show that. I don't think they showed the Prophet flip off on the camera live on Disney XD.
4 minutes to make it through the streets phase of Route 66.
Yeah, and here's where you really need to move fast, because you need as much time as possible for point C.
Carpe zoning them out.
My favorite Season 1 OWL meme? I mean, there's so many to choose from.
Without London being able to instantly jump on top of it as it comes out of the doors.
I'd say probably either the Prophet flip-off or Taimu and Jaehong playing Winston. One of those two.
Carpe just really being careful about exposing himself to Birdring. You don't want to get caught by that Widowmaker. Fraggy, meanwhile, gonna pop the Primal Rage, feeling some pressure in that building, and he's just...
Gesture just got bullied.
Goodbye, Gesture. Poco finds him. Can they get the kill on the Birdring here? They're juggling.
Fraggy is being a disruption.
Will go down, and now Nuss...
They're rezzing this? They get it off? That's crazy.
Nuss falls. Poco actually got that kill, and so Billy...
Florida Mayhem walkouts. Yeah, that's another top tier meme. Easily.
Gesture's back, though. He's punting Carpe out of the trance, and he'll get the kill.
You know what my real favorite meme is from OWL Season 1? All of the Mickey camera moments. Like when they'd introduce Dallas Fuel on stage and they'd pan through all of the player cams. Mickey memeing with his entire team, even when they were complete and utter trash, that was funny.
Great shot there. Now he gets Gesture for the finish. And Philadelphia really showing why they brought this guy in for this map. Late Transcendence for Bedosian just to try to keep the payload stalled out. But now he's in a room with Snillo. That's not where you want to be. Pulse Bomb doesn't do the damage, but Boombox does.
And Birdring has had enough.
And they went to the screen showing cams where it's just the chairs. Yeah. Dude, Snillo is having a ridiculous map right now. Dude, the Carpe cast! Carpe's cast was so good. Let's go.
Birdring now with the McCree. Snillo has been unstoppable so far, getting a lot of the one clips as Birdring's trying to take aim. Carpe's been great on the McCree overall this stage. Now McCree comes out, you have a medium range.
The Battle of LA walkout in stage 4, yeah.
You can easily get people with the flashbang in these side corridors and rooms.
Neptuno falling early, but it's a pretty quick respawn.
Wow, how'd they get that res?
I mean, I think they just protected Nuss well enough to get Gesture back up again. That was...
Who is this McCree they're talking about? I have no idea.
Need to fall back anyway.
Yeah, that... Philly should have pushed forward on that one. That was a bit of a freebie.
The one wonders.
On to Gesture.
Yeah. Transcendence used by Boombox as Gesture comes in. Flashbang doesn't.
Wait, you guys remember when Mickey would be hilarious? He'd be like messing with Effect, being really serious, or like in stage 4 when Dallas were like good, and like him and like Seagull and the guys would all meme together. He did like the fusion dance with OG. He like did the XQC thing. Good times.
Chasing the Mercy, has to recall out of it, didn't find the angle.
But the payload keeps moving, Doa, throughout all of this Philadelphia.
Yep.
Oh my god. Snillo is a monster. Imagine coming into a series, you haven't played any of the maps, and you're just outplaying Prophet on Tracer. Like, goddamn, dude.
That's right. Needed to live through that.
I remember the dab, yeah. The XQC dab.
Stays alive for the moment. Gesture, meanwhile, falls. The healers had to heal each other, and that left the tanks high and dry. Goodbye,
oh, SBD, yeah.
As well. And man, the pressure that Snillo is putting on the back line.
It's crazy that O2 has 40 players. Oh, wait, Bastion! The Bastion swap, yo. Oh. Well, that didn't last very long.
Mercy fighting back, and Philadelphia nearly has this one. They are so close.
A map completion on route is huge.
Can anyone else get back in time? Nuss gets there on the Mercy. That's not going to help. And Fusion will nearly finish. There we go, finishing it. Minute 23 on the clock. That is a solid.
Funny crazy to make us the best brig in the league when she was launched. I mean, like, yeah. But I think it's mostly because Dallas just utilized her more than anyone else. When you watch his gameplay, a lot of it was very questionable. Dude was like popping, rallying like 1v4s, like he did not care. It was just no one knew how to deal with Brig back then. I think Mickey took advantage of that. Stationary Bastion. Your favorite owl meme of all time, Bake?
So elusive, man. You just cannot track this.
I don't know. Snillo pillow? I have no clue.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
Yes, IDDQD played exactly one map.
But yeah, man, you can see why they put this kid in, though. He is incredible on
Tracer. Like, other teams used Brig, but Dallas used her the most. They abused her. Like, they could. They had the luxury of that because Seagull was a really good D.Va player. So, like, they could swap between having Seagull on DPS and have him on D.Va. And then the times where he'd play D.Va, you put Mickey on either Zarya or Brig. It's related to 2020 Valiant. Is it SBD?
So much damage to Bedosha and Nuss that they had to keep healing each other.
Yeah, that map was against Shanghai, correct. Like in a meaningless, like, map 4.
7% of his team's damage.
It's huge for a Tracer.
Yeah, it's
nice,
really big. So, now, London, do they have an option here? Do they have the opportunity to adapt? They probably will also be playing Tracer Widow.
You think so? I don't think Nuss is going to be playing the Doomfist, as much as we'd all like to see that.
Yeah, unfortunately, not really.
Nuss on Doomfist, Omega lol.
In spawn as he goes back over to the Mercy. So, mirrored compositions. Going to be the name of the game on the attack.
I still cannot believe that DJ Khaled performed in OWL Grand Finals. Like, it's so unbelievable that such a thing went down.
Both sides, London Spitfire looking at needing to set a big time to stay competitive and give themselves a chance to win this series.
Alright, so the
Ring.
by Gesture trying to figure out the
good attempt.
Positioning of the enemy Widowmaker.
Yep.
Third ring pops up, see if he can find it. Carpe still on top of Big Earls. Now he's down on the low ground on the road.
Oh, wow. Boombox getting aggressive with that. That was bold.
Carpe again, man.
Gets caught by Carpe. That's a kill already.
Now they're going to have to back off. So Spitfire will not be able to res
DJ Khaled was the reason people were afraid of another Overwatch music collab. True.
He was prepared.
Birdring peeking really
Such a glorious meme that was.
I mean, these teams both being so cautious about how
Like, see, that's the type of ambition OWL had back then, though. They'd go for stuff like this when they had the money to do so.
Into an ultimate, so they have an earlier Mercy ult that we're about to get.
I don't remember all the details, Big, I'll be honest.
they'll be able to
I don't think that's the case, but I don't remember.
Neptuno uses his Valkyrie early on, actually. Nuss uses his. Both Mercies using the ult gesture down early, though they couldn't keep the tank.
What if Roadhog got a DJ Khaled skin? Like, what, when he lands a hook, he says another one? Or, like, whenever he gets a kill, another one.
And Bedosian avoids the pulse bomb and gets the kill onto Snillo.
I can see it. I can see the vision that Math is cooking up here.
To push on through. Poco demacked and killed at the last second. Carpe is going to be hunted on the high ground here by... Oh! Hello. That's a big kill. Actually finds Birdring, so opportunity. Well, the resurrection will come through, but it's going to be punished by Carpe.
Wow, the hunter has become the hunted, and Carpe with 2 kills to put Philly right back into it.
Why did they attempt to res there, first off? Second off, why was no one there to help him?
That was really cocky by the Spitfire. They didn't send anyone to protect
a Hogless air. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Happening, and instead they get really badly staggered.
Let's see how Carpe got those
Well, they thought he was leaving, but then he's like, nah, you know what? I have a damage boost, so
Fury?
let's go for it anyway.
What, boombox?
Well, there was a bit of an attack from London.
Oh, they used bomb.
They're gonna use it
How were they in so much danger over that random YOLO bomb? That's crazy. Carpe is just owning Birdring.
A minute 20 on the clock for London.
Damage boosted Carpe is not fair.
He jumped up and shot him while he was walking out of the diner doors. Birdring is tired of this. He's on the
Birdring says, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm going Genji. Screw this. Snillo is 26-2 on this map. My god. 26-2 against the London Spitfire.
Really on the verge of winning this one. Snillo pulse bomb, no stick. Doesn't get the damage done. They do force the Valkyrie out of Nuss, though. That's something.
Birdring gets Carpe, so question is whether the revive will come.
Crucially, Bedosian has a trance if you need it. Or Birdring can have that.
Guess who's back? It's Poco's self-destruct.
They res that? Wow, it's ballsy to go for that.
They res the Genji, so London's still in this one, and Poco has to retreat.
With a McCree, though, so he wants to get in the face, trying to deal with the flashbang now. He's reacting to Birdring. Oh,
this defense, though.
That's right, Fraggy falls, but more on the side of London as far as kills.
The res because of the trance. Oh, wow. When did Carpe go to cast? When did that happen?
Or they are out of this series. Fusion on the verge of doing.
They're going for the back line. They smell it. Oh. Never mind.
It was a 5 versus
I don't know.
6.
Neptuno? What are we doing?
Neptuno, London coming back at the very end. They get Snillo as well. They might be able to take point A in overtime.
They survived. Not over, PogChamp.
And it looks like London may just buy themselves a bit more time in this series.
Yeah, Yuri, for sure.
That out is going to make sure that his teammates don't get split spawn.
I think that's very cool.
The respawns that were coming through, we're going to put them in a dangerous
I think it's a really good way to close the story that the bottom 4 teams from OWL Season 1 all won a championship.
Because in overtime doesn't get you more of the clock, but it can save your allies.
Yeah, that was all about point B, the setup, buying time.
Yep.
To get that defensive positioning here now that Philly has it.
I mean, generally, most inaugural season teams won at least something, which is dope.
And it's all about point C. London could very well take this one. It's not a hard point to take, but if you go into point C with less than optimal time, man, you are in big trouble.
Hey, Okeon, thank you for the 10, bro.
Of the Spitfire again, that's not going to be an effective pulse bomb from Prophet. Fraggy will
I'll read your message in just a second here.
Yep, that's right. Wanted to stay alive. Gesture down Carpe, making sure that he doesn't. Birdring, meanwhile, backing up. They've got the DMEC, I believe, on the Fury. Yeah, there's a self-destruct. Kills coming through all over the place for Philly.
Do you think in the future we could watch S3 Philly versus Paris in the Washington homestand? That match was legendary.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna watch that one, dude. Thank you for the 10, and that will be on the bucket list. We will be watching that game, as it's one of the best ever. For sure. It is gonna happen, I just don't know when yet.
They really do, man. The evolution that this team has seen in Stage 2 is just kind of unparalleled by a lot of the other teams in this league.
An engagement beat by Nuss. Interesting that they're playing Zen Lucio in this scenario, by the way.
A bit inopportune. Can he get back in the mech? He does. Birdering can't finish him, but he does have the Dragon Blade. Goodbye, Poco.
Okay, Badoshin's fragging.
We may be into another overtime push here shortly, Doa, depending on how fast they can clean up the
Titans versus Valiant. Yeah, that's one of my favorite matches ever. That's gonna happen, yeah. I have a lot of stuff I want to watch. But you know, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's not like there's any rush, you know?
Yeah. So, 25 seconds. London, we'll see if they have to fight off Philly one more time before the end of point B. Looks like they will. Philadelphia coming in, trying to eat up as much time as possible. Prophet throws.
Oh, if he landed that stick.
From that one. Now the Transcendence for Boombox. A win in the team fight here would be a win for
Boombox used Trance, you got a free blade.
To start things off. And London may just push through point B unless Boombox with a kill on Badoshin. That's one.
Again, London by the skin of their teeth survive.
And Poco falls, and it looks like it may just be another overtime victory on a stage here for London.
Yeah, they've got to deal with this, and Fraggy is not going to make it through. Bird ring.
They've got it. All right, Fraggy down a little bit late there. Oh, and a late kill on Neptuno, too.
The London-Washington game where they only got 4 meters. Yeah, we could do that.
Looking a bit scattered here in the defense.
Toilet Bowl we're going to watch, yeah. Shock Justice Season 3 playoffs. Yeah. That's the beauty of it. We have 6 years of history we can cover. Preferably older matches. Welcome back, Owl Guy.
Coming up from the fusion. Another trance. We see Neptuno. He's got the Valkyrie. And Carpe must switch over to the Widowmaker because he has to hit his shots now to delay this payload.
Engagement beat again. I don't know why teams were so obsessed with engagement beat back then.
Nice stick from Prophet. London with some kills early. Neptuno with the res.
Oh, Snillo! The double pulse. They have no res either because no mercy. Snillo the savior.
On the clock for London.
Yeah, Carpe knows if he can just hit a couple of shots here, they can delay the payload. So wants to use that Widowmaker. He's been accurate.
Would London have won stage 2 if they didn't lose to Philly? I'd say no.
Could do it for Philadelphia Fusion in this series.
Because New York, what you have to remember is New York took them to a map 5 in stage 2 with mono on main support. I think New York at this point were not to be denied.
I mean, he needs to get some hits. Here's the Dragon Blade. Birdring doesn't want to wait. Nope. Gesture down early though. Snillo.
Carpe.
Another kill. Goodbye, Carpe. We're into overtime though, and Birdring charged down by the tanks of Philadelphia Fusion. Can they finish this fight? Can they finish this series?
Here we go, chat.
Fury a little bit on his own. Losing a lot of health right now. He's going to lose his mech as well. Overtime ticks away. Fraggy eliminated by Nuss, though. So London coming back, but there's a stick from Snillo. The Tracer trying to turn things around. They lose Gesture one more time on the London side, but they're back on the payload. Spawn advantage goes to Philly. Here comes
Force out Trance. Just end it. Get a pick here. There's one. God, Bomb was so broken back then.
They've got to push the Diva off. They've got to do it. Overtime would tick away so quickly right now. That's gonna be it.
One of the biggest upsets of the early season. Philly beat London to go to the stage 2 finals. Fraggy gets hyped here, man.
At the end, we see the Fusion beat the Spitfire not only in the series, but they had to take maps that the Spitfire had never lost. Undefeated.
Look at Fraggy, yeah, though. Ooh.
And the Fusion will take both of those from London.
Yeah, and also that enormous map win on Nepal too.
All right, I'm gonna change the title, then we'll dive right into the next one.
Rough map type for them. They were able to do it. What an amazing series to start playoff Sunday with. Philadelphia gonna go on to face NYXL for that shot at 100 grand. I'm liking this playoff Sunday thing, man. It's going okay.
It's been pretty fun. And congrats to the Fusion. Great upset here. Turns out the Panda Bear was right the entire time.
You know, I'm never going to question Chris Puckett again. It's official, guys. He was right. Philadelphia with a 3-2 map score will defeat London Spitfire in the semifinals. They are going on to face NYXL.
Oh, they did not do player of the match back then. If I were to give it to someone, though, it'd be Carpe for sure.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP.
Oh, I thought, like, I guess they kind of do like a player of the match here at the end on the desk.
I mean, ridiculous.
They show the Carpe stats, yeah. Not really player of the match, but, you know, emphasis on him for playing well. Really good series out of him. All right, so next up, in that same day after beating London, Philly play NYXL.
Philadelphia Fusion have just shocked the world and pulled off the 3-2 victory over the London Spitfire.
No, Nightbot's been acting kind of weird, Owl Guy. I don't really know what's going on with Nightbot, but it's not working.
What's very interesting about this matchup is only 2 teams have defeated the NYXL during the regular season. One of them is the London Spitfire, who were just eliminated, and the other team is the Philadelphia Fusion. So, needless to say, we are in for a hell of a game. Everybody, make some noise. It is time for our Stage 2 title match.
Yeah, Malika was goated. Also, just look at this classic intro. Oh, how I miss this. So good.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. After 5 weeks of play, we are down to the Stage 2 championship match. Who is walking away with the...
Let's see. So context, Philly just beat London. Same day they're going to play New York. Stage 2 championship. Winner wins 125K. And this is the first ever Philly choke. So, yeah. This is the first time Philly fans truly knew pain.
Los Angeles Gladiators, I made the mistake of going with Gladiators. Again, against London, I made the mistake of going away from Philly. So this time, I think momentum is on Philadelphia's side. The map
Crumbs picks London here, based. Or Philly, I mean, not London.
Going Philly!
Based Crumbs pick.
Man. All right, let's go over to Mr. Reinforce.
Adaptive, right?
You know, endurance is a thing. We saw last stage, London Spitfire winning after playing 14 maps in a row. That doesn't happen very often. Philly has played 5 maps already. Adrenaline is taking its toll. New York is going to walk away with the victory simply because they sat in the back and gotten ready for the game.
Johnny's going with the number
Johnny
one
picks
seed.
NYXL.
The decider here, Zoe, on the desk. Where you leaning tonight?
You know what? Audience is gonna hate me, but I will be going with the NYXL. I'm sorry about Liberal, Ark, Jonak. Some y'all be like, I just can't see it happening. I hope it happens, but I...
Yeah, we're gonna watch both matches today. I'm doing them both.
A lot of people in New York City who hope you are right. Watch parties all over the place. People in the venue, make some noise though, because it's the final best of 5. Who's walking away the champions? We find out right now. It's Malik on the floor.
Thank you very much, Puckett. You guys ready for this match?
I miss Malik.
Yes.
Thoughts on Knicks Raptors trade? I'm indifferent. I don't think it makes Knicks any worse or better, to be honest.
$125,000 up for grabs, so somebody's going to go home with a lot of money, a lot of bragging
My
rights,
King
and all the
Libero,
momentum
yeah.
As we cross over the halfway mark of this regular season here at the Overwatch League. So guys, make some noise and let's get a look at our
I
team.
miss Season 1 so much.
Oh, here we go.
Their fate is in their hands.
Philadelphia Fusion.
NYXL, they're looking good. First seed for the playoffs.
The beginning of the true era for NYXL here.
Just mowing them down. Poco cops one in midair.
The production was so good back then, man.
Control of this point. They are now in control of the point.
Huge turnaround. Huge. The Philadelphia Fusion. Let's go. Surprise, surprise.
Someday, Owl Guy.
And here come your Philadelphia Fusion. Up first on attack, Carpe.
And Snillow's gonna start off the series this time. They're gonna ride the hot hand and play him first map. Fragging.
On flex tank, Poco.
Back when they called it Flex Tank. Feel strong, man.
Boombox and Neptuno. Give it up for your Philadelphia Fusion. All right, guys, have a seat. Have a seat. Now, our next team, they've been #1 all throughout this stage. They've also been #1 overall in the league. They've been doing their thing pretty much.
Like back then, you actually were a genuine
So
flex
ladies and gentlemen,
tank.
please join me in welcoming to the stage the NYXL.
Here we go, New York. First appearance of them today in the stream. Libero.
And here they come. Up first on attack, Libero.
My boy, Libero.
On support,
And there's Arc. Feel strong, man. Back when, like, the order of the chairs didn't matter.
Yana's in the game. Jonas.
Sag.
On tank, Meko.
Did the flex tank mostly play Diva? Yeah, but think about Season 2, you know?
Mono.
Well, actually, Season 1 and 2.
And the best tracer in the world.
Sometimes they'd play some DPS and stuff. Like, Season 2, you'd see, like, the Sombra sometimes. Like, Hotba played a bunch of different things. Like, it probably should just be called off-tank, but... Like, some people actually played DPS back then occasionally.
All right, so needless to say, these guys are ready to get the match going. I'm super excited about
Remember
this.
freaking
This is one
Hotba
of my
played, like,
favorite
support?
season matches to watch.
Also in Season 1.
The casters are ready.
That's
You guys ready?
crazy. Dude played, like, Zen,
Alright,
Moira,
let's go ahead.
Tracer,
Boys,
Pharah,
Cooper, and Mr. X.
Sombra, Diva, Zarya, like, just everything.
New York XL, right? Top
Uber X,
overall
baby.
impact, and now it's time for them to collect, or at least that's what they're hoping to do. But their first loss in the Overwatch League was handed to them by none other.
I remember when Hydration played Lucio. Good times.
It's been a while since that stage 1 matchup, obviously, but you know Philadelphia was able to hand NYXL one of their 2 losses in Overwatch League. One was obviously to London, the other to the Philadelphia Fusion.
Yeah,
You see the match
interesting
here.
how,
You know, Route 66 will start things off. You know, I was the last map in the previous series. So
this is a weird layout. 2 escort maps is, like, so weird. It's kind of confusing how they wouldn't do map 5 for control back then, but hey, you do you.
Good idea of what the Philly Fusion
change his personal
Joan XN, baby, let's get it.
You know, enemy traces and then sort of turning
Can Philly pull off another upset? That was the thinking at the time. You just beat London. Can they continue the momentum?
Of course, coaching staff at NYXL will be passing down the executive orders.
Well, I think the NYXL, they've been so...
I think during this time, Pine was taking a break. I believe this is when his break started, so there's no Pine.
This matchup is, you know, in stage 1,
So SBB and Libero had to take over the Widow duties. And they were both low-key kind of cracked.
Stage 2 thus far. I know there's hardly
Thank God they aren't playing Janice. Oh, just wait till Hybrid, buddy.
You can't run the Widow of your own, then you're forced into a dive on them straight up. And that could get dangerous as well.
It's time. All the marbles on the line here in stage 2, and Philadelphia Fusion will be on the attack.
Poco, Scout, what's it called?
Here on defense, Route 66, man.
Yeah, they're going to run
The sonar near the train.
No Sombra. Usually you see Sombra on defense.
SBB, big kill.
Getting the better of Carpe. This will get rezzed up though. Find Neptuno, so you bring him right back into the fight. But the Sabiel B is going to have the luxury of this big Orisa barrier to hide behind.
Hello's in.
They try and dive this
Bumper
on the
playing
high
Hanzo.
ground. You have Libero just spamming those Junkertown.
This is where your clip happened. Yes, it's true.
Danger signs for the Philadelphia Fusion to get aggressive now, knowing they could fall foul of a trap or a concussive mine.
Really weird to see an Orisa, though. I don't remember teams playing this on Route very often. This is like a New York strat.
This competition from NYXL up on the high ground. Now, Carpe can play
Real ones remember Soul's 5 DPS comp.
Remember, this is a best of 5, not a 5-map series necessarily. So, 3 maps would be the minimum. We need to see.
Neptuno is ahead of Arc for ult charge. It's pretty big, but doesn't even matter. Ooh.
Carpe found him though. He got an off angle towards the side. Now he's flanking back around. A lot of focus for Philadelphia.
That is ballsy to res right in front of Jonik like that.
Brought back into the fray, but they don't know that Carpe's behind them yet. Arc could be in trouble. Carpe's giving himself away. Now low is Meko. Went on cleaning duty.
Yeah, Arc using his Valkyrie.
Somehow Philly are still turning this though, which is kind of wild.
The payload's still moving here for the Philadelphia Fusion, Mitch.
It really looked like New York were in control of that. Not gonna lie. Philly just being scrappy here. Root was just their map. Meko was so goated at Diva. People don't give enough love to Meko because he was out of the league by Season 3, or the end of Season 3, rather. He was a goated player on New York, especially Season 1. One of the best divas in OWL. Very kill-heavy diva player.
You can't really readjust it behind because then it opens you up to a lot of damage from the front.
Snillo now again. Definitely the more patient counterpart of the Traces on this team.
Wrong place, wrong time for Aggie. Yeah, Meko went to the Outlaws in Season 3. Oh, Libero!
Libero cleans him up with a grenade, and now the rest of the fusion will likely collapse or try and disengage, whichever one happens first.
Oh, it's not a good fight for Philadelphia, because what happens there is they use a rip.
Yeah, that's true, Robin. Very true. Good point to make there.
Left alone on the payload, and Mondo and Sabiel be jumping.
It was kind of cool, though. Meko was pretty consistent. There was like a few moments in Season 2 where like maybe he's washed, but then playoffs came and he was like insanely good at SIG, and that was that. Outlaws ruining his reputation. Although, to be fair, he wanted to go to the Outlaws, apparently. From the reports I remember seeing, he actually wanted to play for a Western team. Like, he had genuine interest in playing for Houston. I'm sure he regrets that choice now, but at the time, he wanted to go Western. Apparently.
Fortunately, his backline is doing the work, and Poco peeled to get rid of Meko. Now
Mono lives here, that'd be big, but he can't.
Job helping keep both supports alive for the Philadelphia Fusion. NYXL, they used both of their support ults during that fight.
Yeah, exactly, Booming Bob. Jexe and Dante carrying to exhaustion.
Does fall though, but you see, it's going to be a change of composition from NYXL.
Remember that random time they beat Florida somehow? That was hilarious.
New York recognize they can't play statically anymore around an Orisa or a Junkrat or anything like that. It's time to turn it up to 11 for them and get aggressive. With the Fusion,
You still have them muted. Nice, Owl guy.
They were born and molded by it. Haven't seen a plastic game of Overwatch until they were already adults, and now it will be Carpe, and you can see deep flanking is Snillo.
And YXL also regretted Meko leaving, having to play with Bot. Yeah, Hoppo is really, really bad on NYXL. It's funny because, like, every other season of his career, he was genuinely decent. But then New York happened and he was just bad for some reason. Like, 2019 he was so good, and then that happened.
Once again, Snillo sees a transcendence and knows he has a pulse bomb. He's not too perturbed by the extra healing that New York are benefiting from right now.
Jonag, the eat by Meko. That was a nice little flick matrix there. Yeah, I don't think either team benefited from Meko leaving the team, that's for sure. Oh my god, Carpe, what a friggin' shot. I loved watching Widow gameplay in Season 1, man. These shots they were hitting were so cool. Especially when, like, Pine and Saya player were in, dude. Oh my lord. Pine and Saya on Carpe were so fun to watch.
First half, he was good on their Route 66 against the London Spitfire. 12 limbs, 5 final blows, 0 deaths here.
I also remember Season 2, Stage 3, where Houston randomly took NYXL to Map 5 and beat Shock, but then somehow ended up losing the Florida. I do. Zephyr Bastion, baby! Never forget the Zephyr game. Hi, Challenger. Snillo is doing his thing again. This is the Snillo map. Where did Pine go? What exactly do you mean? Like, why was he out of the league?
Not much to be done. He still wants to play Carpe, but Snillo was there to rescue, and the payload's been moving this whole time, Matt.
Yeah, Philly have just been winning fights while keeping people on cart.
Just the insane one. So fun to watch Carpe play. As Philadelphia has been making like a stage 1 composition work here, you know, playing around this Widow and Mercy.
Snillo getting very low. The crossfire chunks him out, but Meko is...
I remember the two Mayhem fans jumping out of their seats. Nice. Libero with the turnaround. Libero SBB turning it around. This is how New York operated. depended on Jonek a lot to do a bunch of the damage, and if he wasn't doing it, like if he goes down, oh, it's Sabiobi and Libro's time.
In the action. Then you have a Transcendence to use as well for Philadelphia. So Philadelphia will have a self-destruct.
Imagine if Outlaws had Snillo in Season 1. Outlaws needed any semblance of a good Tracer player, and they would have been significantly better. Honestly, with an actual Tracer player on their team, maybe they win a couple more games to make playoffs. They're dealing with Jake, Linkser, and a Clockwork. Friggin' community contribution, basically.
On the side of NYXL, they're also going to have obviously, the things that
The committee Tracer gang on Houston in Season 1. And none of them were any good at Tracer.
Kind of want the Fusion to dive them now with his composition.
They were supposed to have Mendo, but then Mendo decided he didn't want to play in Overwatch League, just out of nowhere. Like, I'm good.
Refusing to give an inch now. Literally and physically now, as he steps a long way forward. This is very aggressive positioning, and Nibro's blown up Snillo, so that's one less Tracer on the side of the Fusion, and losing the Mercy. Neptuno probably was trying to resurrect him back up.
Really good hold from New York here.
Fusion need to take a deep breath and reset.
New York's gameplay was so disciplined.
all support ults up here. Savior will be also.
They literally just waited for you to make a mistake back then. That was also part of their weakness. They're a very passive team, like, and then they jump on you when you did something dumb. But that's why it usually worked. Just the disciplined gameplay.
Pulse Bomb Snillo has to pull the pin on that one. Worried about getting blown up by the self-destruct, but Libero's down already. Snillo finds a new target.
Clockwork DMAC the Diva. Ah, yes.
The Transcendence was there to prevent most of the damage and heal him back up to full. New York now, they see him rolling. They hate him. Libero comes in over the top, doesn't actually get the detonation. There was a recall.
Davin.
Snillo, but it got him out alive. Carpe sitting back.
So New York hold though. Is Carpe somehow, some way trying to turn this? Dude, Mono's low. How are they doing this? How does Carpe get another kill? Imagine if he touched there and they could. Oh my god. Even when they're losing, Carpe's still dominating.
Defense there before Philadelphia can get the map completion. Do get the payload. I know. Decent.
Still though, this was. I mean, at the time, Root was like significantly harder than what it is in OWL today, or what it was in 2023, I should say. It was really hard to complete this map, so even getting that far into point C was good.
Which if Snillo's not getting those picks in the backline, right, that's not creating that space.
Old Outlaws had so many Fever Dream players. Yeah, remember when they randomly just out of nowhere picked up Arhan? Just as this Western team refusing to have any Korean players, and they just pick up freaking Arhan.
With that Orisa in position, Snillo has to, go in wide.
Good times. Hear me out. What if Outlaws had proper? Oh, I'm sure that would have been really nice for them.
Yeah, you see those, pick-heavy comps give some teams that are very aggressive troubles, right? One of the things.
All right, here we go.
I've seen them run double sniper before. Libero a very good hunt.
Hey, yo, Orisa Hog? The Junkrat attack, too. After the defense, Shonek is the only New York player who has a positive KD. That's insane. Also, I love how they're bringing up KD in Overwatch. Hilarious.
Not exactly like darting in there, just like one-click players constantly, so it's definitely going to test him.
Yeah, he's definitely less committal than some other Tracers. So this is a slow roll composition from New York.
See, no, I don't know if Chad's team is how I'd explain it out, but I think they were just stubbornly managed in the worst way possible.
Evicted from his mech.
Flame was a horrible GM.
He has to be very careful because Sabiel will have that barrier to hide behind. They take out Fraggy, so you lose both your tanks here.
Yeah, Byron, like he was horrible. Flame was so bad.
On a boombox, and it's not a great way for Philadelphia.
Imagine saying there's no good contenders players. Like that is Season 2 had a wealth of talent coming into the league.
A source of indirect damage, Matt. A Junkrat who can actually sort of fire at the payload without exposing himself to someone like Sabiobi. Because he has a liberty if he chose to do so.
Season 4 Valiant Ultimate Chad team. And then he picked up Kai. Freaking Kai. Oh my god. He had no idea what he was doing with Dallas. Kai.
If you're Philadelphia, this is where you would really love to bring Genji in, right? Genji's extremely effective against Orisa, Junkrat as well. Same with Roadhog, you can build up those Dragon Blades rather quickly. Just don't have one in the lineup right now.
Hello. Oh, see Samuel actually took a hit in midair, just a body shot.
SBB getting hunted down.
And it will be Fraggy that combine with him to actually get the kill. So notice they're actually working around the Junkrat and the Roadhog. They don't want to go for those nasty anti-dive heroes until the rest of their teams are done.
That NVM card? Oh yeah, I got it, Alki.
Well, this is a way to buy Carpe.
I remember the strat for so many teams back during this time was just go and kill Jonek. If we kill Jonek, we can win. But then they put so many resources into trying to kill this one man that the rest of NYXL would just tear him apart. Pretty soundproof strat by New York, honestly. You let Jonek be a better Zen than everybody else in the league combined, and if he somehow dies, then your other superstars will probably kill everything for you.
Neptuno's just holding that, alt fire on Carpe, giving him the damage boost. That's all he's got to do.
Obviously, Boombox is at liberty to just offload a lot of damage, which is something that Jonak wouldn't be able to do if he's being dived. So now the pulse bomb for Snillo could be quite deadly at Libero's Riptire. Again, the sound cue should be enough to strike the fear of God into the Philadelphia.
It's so bizarre seeing Junkrat here.
It's unlikely he gets much of this. Poco actually does take a bit of splash damage. Sabiobi was hoping to follow up.
Clearly, this is where Proper got it from. This is why he played Junk against London, Kappa.
Sabiobi has to try and bail them out of this one, but they've already lost 2 players.
You gotta go dive here. Bongo ain't even worth it.
A lot of the times NYXL, they like to use their
They're going dive. It's time. No more messing around. It's dive time. No Widow, we're just going full-on dive. This is what New York were really good at. Thanks for watching this game. Well, I'm glad to have you. Always fun to watch old matches.
In that backline, it was really Snillo the one who's making those plays.
The reason why that static composition doesn't work.
Silly memory, but remember NYXL compared Libero's appearance to an otter? I can't say I remember that, but that sounds hilarious. New York did a really good job of marketing this team, I won't even lie to you. They were popular because they were good. Jonek was just like this out-of-this-world Zen player, and then they, on their YouTube channel, they made really good content about all of their players and their individual stories. New York did it right back then, man. What happened?
I'd say Meko has a good idea of where Snillo is as well. Charging out that pulse bomb, he's seen 2 supports unattended, but he knows it's going to be hard to burst down.
They're like, protect Jonek, saving Private Jonek. Get down, Mr. President. Got 2 guys by his side at all times.
This is where the fight begins for the Fusion. Now they're beginning in earnest.
Yeah, and as soon as Carpe gets these picks, Philadelphia just jumps right onto those bodies. Prevent Arc from going in, getting the res. Here's a pulse bomb there from Snillo.
Get down, Mr. Octopus. Yeah, real.
Just a little bit. The payload's still moving.
But I mean, that was part of the equation. That's why during the Zen-centric metas, like that's why New York were very, very good.
Had quite a lot of freedom.
It was really important to pocket your Zen, because Zen was just like such an important part of the dive with his Discord and everything. And if you had a frag-worthy Zen like Jonak, you know, keeping him up did a lot of work. Poco eats the bomb casually. New York just did that better than anyone else. I think that's part of the reason some of the good teams that were the teams that were supposed to be good kind of had their downfall in a way. Like, Seoul Dynasty had a plethora of issues, don't get me wrong, but I always thought their strategy of, like, not really playing around Jaehong enough costed them. Jaehong definitely was a disappointment in Season 1, but I felt like Toby or Gambler or whoever else was playing Mercy was just nowhere to be seen. You had to perma-pocket your Zen, I feel like, during this time. That's how the best teams won.
Coming online. You know, after that, if you don't get great value out of those, you're really kind of praying for a late-game sound barrier.
NYXL trying to break line of sight.
Toby got significantly better at Mercy. He was really bad in Season 1, or like mediocre, but then by Season 3 he was like pretty good. Also, New York are hard stalling.
And notices NYXL still trying to chase him in vain. Libero's fallen and Carpe still trying to keep himself scarce. Everyone wants a bit of the Widowmaker, but he's having none of it. Now up in the air.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Toby and Jaehong were definitely a much better backline in Season 2. But I also think part of it is they had a more stable situation around them. Not all their fault. They could have played better individually, but a lot of it came down to internal problems with Seoul. Anytime they'd fail, they'd get really mad, and instead of working together to come up with solutions, they'd blame each other. Just look at what they did to Miro, you know? That's all you really need to know. They had high expectations, and when the lights got a bit too bright for them, they ended up failing. They ended up collapsing. Because they're like, we're supposed to be a dynasty, the best team, but no. Also, that pulse bomb by SBB was ambitious to say the least. The Blade. The rare remake kill during this time. Big beat by Arc there. That is huge. And they killed Neptuno, but I don't think it matters. No. Arc tried. But Philly, though, the Snillo map strikes again.
Snillo big yet again, Mitch. 38 elims, 18 final.
Also, I loved how you could always see, like, the referees in the background just, like, staring down the players. Snillo 66. Yeah, big rosters were something back in the day. You see Snillo is getting subbed out. That's it. EQO is coming in. What's the next map? Lijiang? Yeah, honestly, though, after Lijiang, they could have just put Snillo back in. Like, ride the hot hand. If I was Philly, I would have done that, even if he's not part of their strat.
We did see the Junkrat, a little bit of a different composition.
By King Fraggy, the golden age of main tanking. Real. Hey, yo, the Pachimari face paint.
Stick around, you don't want to miss this one.
Let's move on to Lijiang. Sponsors feel strong, man. Okay, let's go. Lijiang Tower.
You've seen it run on Nepal a little bit, but it would still be...
What if the LA Valiant had Jerry? I wish.
To the point, because it's easy to peek. Like, if you have a Farah to counter it, you can peek in high.
See, this is where Philly really benefited. This is where any team benefited when playing New York. It felt like when they weren't playing Zen, when they were doing something that wasn't Jonek Zen related, they were just not nearly as oppressive to deal with. Like, SBB was genuinely a good Roadhog, but like, having Jonek off of Zen just hurt them. Like, this Moira Lucio comp doesn't do them any good. That was always part of the reason I felt like they failed come playoff time, like seeing a bit less Jonek Zen. He was just such an important part of their strats. They depended on that.
So now obviously Hook 2.0 means that features like that. The Hook doesn't ignore them.
Honestly, if I was Philly, I'd play a Pharah here, but I don't think EQO played a lot of Pharah on stage 2.
He will be desuited, and Fraggy takes his opportunity now to start the fight. They're trying to circumvent the barrier of Mano.
That's hilarious, Matt. Oh my god, SBB's hitting all these hooks.
3 from 3 for this man. Straight out the park.
Oof.
EQO eats a scrap gunshot from long range. alexyOWL looking imperious to start.
Yeah, SBB I think played some Hog as well in Apex, so there's some good experience on the hero.
You could run like a slower comp for Philadelphia, right? Maybe like something like you could do like a Reaper with the Junkrat, right? Just trying to like break things down and get like a Reinhardt in the mix.
Fraggy's gonna go on to Rhine, the honest Rhine Zarya.
Zarya can get pretty charged up off of these Junkrat grenades, but you know the DPS players, you know, such low HP pools on Genji and Tracer, they have to be careful.
It makes me wonder if the NYXL are trying to exploit a
big kill
hero pool on the Fusion. Last map in this one might have indicated that to us, but Libro's already been force-fed a pole spot. So that's
Carpe Season 1 Tracer doesn't get enough love.
In favor of the Philadelphia Fusion, and Sabio, we needed that hook to connect. Now he's going to go for the
Whole Hog.
boombox. Not really bothered by that.
Back when Whole Hog was automatic, feel strong, man. See you, Keon. Thanks for hanging out, dude.
Libero and Mano are circling in from the front door, but Neptuno is zoning them out on his own for the time being. This should be the point going over here as Jonak fades around the point, but it's...
Oh no, it's not a hot take at all, Byron. And even when D.Va was broken, Mickey wasn't very good at D.Va. Seagull was literally the best D.Va on Dallas, and he learned D.Va that season.
And that's scary against a team like Philly, because Philly's just a team that's going to come out here and just brawl.
Bro, I miss Gig. Remember Gig's YOLO Rhyme? In like that first week of Season 3? Bro just went in. Hey, yo! Correct hit, man. Correct.
Not only the Philadelphia Fusion win the fight, they send a grisly message.
Smart swap by Libero.
So you had Sabio switch over to Tracer.
Mono will go Winston here.
Although it's gonna suck because he has no heals. He's got Moira, Lucio heals as Pharah. Only good news is not a lot of contesting from Fusion here. Not even a diva. Beat. There it is.
They didn't get one, or it expired very quickly, but now back to the
oh, boombox off the map!
Great concussive blast, but the Fusion have to commit to this fight because they're already sat on the point. Carpe evens the ledger. Mono down. Poco been removed here by Meko, and now the Fusion have to be scared of this far.
I really want to see the ultimate reality where a lot of players' careers don't get ended by goats. I'm with you there. Not to mention people who just got fatigued from an OWL Season 1 being like a million games. Like, so many players just wanted to quit because Season 1 was miserable, like Seagull. Seagull was like so freaking good, man. And he's like, I can't do this anymore. Like, he finally found his groove in OWL towards the end when it didn't matter, and then he just said, I'm done, because he was too stressed. Seagull was so good at Diva.
Some healing from his compatriot Neptuno, and NYXL are really being led up the garden path here, Matt. With Mono being removed, now this fight will be dragged out, which will favor the Fusion if they can win it. But here's a coalescence.
Jonak on Moira is and always has been cursed. Was Super the best ride in Season 1? No. Absolutely not. Super was not very relevant in Season 1. Nice shot. Bye, Boombox.
It's done the work. Fraggy has primal rage on the point right now, but
Super played a lot in Season 1, he just wasn't special in Season 1. Shanghai was forced to scrim like 16 hours a day, yeah. You know, supposedly. Allegedly.
One of the things before Overwatch League, when I talking with Monty and Doa,
Libero feels strong, man. Best Rhine in Season 1, yeah, it might have been like Mono or Fraggy.
Libero switches at the perfect time.
Fissure was also a damn good Rhine. Anyone else remember Michael when he made his best player forever here? I don't know, it's a very niche thing to talk about, but I remember he said the best Rhine in OWL was Gesture. That was like insane. And then he said that Gesture is a better Winston than Fissure because Fissure caused problems with his team. It has nothing to do with the gameplay. It's just like, oh, he's kind of a bad person. Like, okay. What the hell does that have to do with his Winston? He was a bad teammate.
One-for-one trade. Philadelphia have lost their Junkrat. New York have lost their Reinhardt. So Fraggy now has a bit more free reign. Sabi Obi also doesn't fancy eating a face full of micro rockets. He does hook EQO. Is that who you want to deal with? Possibly
the Shatter by Fraggy? He already has Shatter? No shot. The Michael arc was truly something, yeah. I mean, for the most part, like, when he'd, like, actually analyze the game, it was fun. It just wasn't fun when he'd insert 10 ads in, like, an 8-minute video. Purposely extend the video to 10 minutes so he could run ads. And then, like, the London profit bias. Aside from that, though, I didn't mind Michael. Choi played in Season 1. Can confirm he did play in Season 1. He joined the Shock, like, late stage 3, I think, early stage 4. Hey, yo, the tire from the top rope! And the grab. The Meko Zarya. That's rare. What if Season 1 Shang had Malphal, Zunba, and Zachary? They'd be the best team in the world. Gesture's Rhine after Season 1 was horrendous. If anyone remembers Gesture's Rhine and Goats, you remember it was not good. Season 1 was the only time he was decent, and even then he wasn't even top 3. Where to believe that Super Moth Architect Choi and Sinatra on Shock Season 1, yeah. Did Tomathan exist at the time? He was not making OWL content, but he was alive. I can confirm he was alive. Libero?
Libero trying to get a consolation, but the only consolation we'll have is Cold Steel. As Mano gives him the old shoulder bump.
What do you mean a Valiant bias? I picked against Valiant all the time. That's crazy.
Now you see Poco go over to Zarya, so now you want to capitalize on the Libero just trying to spam through these chokes. It may not be enough here, Mitch, though, because you do have this Riptire to use here for NYXL.
Look at Libero from long range. Again, it's just nasty. Absolute mortar barrage. And he has a Riptire. That will be a giveaway now. We'll see him sit outside. If he hears the grab being used, this will be the time for the Riptire.
Also, I technically only liked Valiant for 2 seasons of making OWL content. For a majority of the time I've made OWL content, I've hated the Valiant.
Libero found Neptuno. Riptire now coming out. This needs to be huge. It has to. In through the window. Libero taken down, so now it's all on this tire. No, doesn't even find Fraggy. Reinhardt keeps himself alive. The Brave Crusader remains standing tall. And it should be the Philadelphia Fusion able to push back, but the rest of NYXL...
Oh, right, OWL guy, right. Totally.
He's trying to get some HP before he goes for it. Straight into the...
Yep. Chad.
And the Philadelphia Fusion find an explosive way to keep themselves in the map.
It's a big grab there from
Looks like goats without Brig. I mean, kind of.
Maybe a big hero switch that ends up...
What it was, kind of the early variation of it.
Echo's going to have a Graviton Surge of his own here. Plus a Mono or Shatter. They do have a Coalescence to pair up with it, but you know, Fraggy could be...
New York have a good ult bank here.
He has to be, man.
If they use both of these ults and he lands like a big Earth Shatter to stop that follow-up.
Yep. He can be the savior here, but this has to be...
God, I just... When Jonek's not playing like Ana or Zen, it's just the most cursed thing in the world.
Trying to dash on away. Boombox, give him a quick hose down with the Coalescence to try.
I don't know how Libero got killed there. Carpe stays alive through that ult too. That is insane. Never mind, he's dead. I take it back. Fraggy or Sato. In terms of who I like more, always gonna be Fraggy, but Sato was obviously the better player.
But it's going to be Fraggy who takes out Mono right at the beginning. EQO flying right at Sabiel B. It's going to be the sound barrier. Carpe is back. Poco's going to have a grab here as well.
And they have to grab to turn it around now. Mono's going to Doomfist. Okay. Oh, Carpe got 2.
What a beautiful hook from Sabiel B to make sure he took his foe to the grave. But we're not done yet. Meko goes down himself. We're dying to a right click, and now Jonak moves into the point. Libero trying to skirt around the edges on that Tracer now. A lot of healing coming out from the Moira. Mano fancies a bit of Biffo, and he's forced out. 97%.
This is chaos. SBB's on friggin' Soldier now to run back to point. The good old days when Overwatch was truly chaotic. Oh, and they don't touch. Mono knew Doomfist was going to be a tank. Big brain.
And I think they were a bit worried. You know, Meko is getting close to a Graviton Surge there. He actually used at the end. But I think they were worried that Fraggy had Earth Shatter and didn't all want to push through that front because they wouldn't have made it.
I mean, yeah, Fraggy could have been fun to watch in Goats, but I don't know how true it is. I believe that the rumor was that Carpe didn't like playing with Fraggy and that he wanted to play with Sato. Like,
he probably thought that Billy was going to take
I think that is like a rumor that's been floating around for quite some time. Like, he just did not like playing with Fraggy. Like, he despised playing with Fraggy. I mean, maybe that's a stretch, but he preferred to play with a Korean tank, from what I remember. Where's Mono now? I think military.
Like you mentioned, you know, since EQO's come in for Shadowburn, they haven't run the Pharah as much. But they're going to pull it out.
Interesting that New York are just full-on committed to this composition. Like, now is the time to play Zen and, you know, gain the advantage back, and they want to stick with this triple tank stuff. With friggin' Libero on Junk, and they're playing Pharah.
NYXL is pretty smart though, Mitch. You know, they go straight to the point because that's going to force EQO to go right into the point or just kind of sit here and just spam through the window.
Oh yeah, Carpe Zarya was not very good, this is true. What if Carpe had the One Piece? Maybe he would have won something.
Just trying to throw as much explosive substance at the enemy team as possible, but speaking of explosive things, the bomb may have just evened this up. Now with no
Billy in general were just mid-it goats. I think they just had backline issues as well. Like, Carpe wasn't really a Zarya guy, but also Neptuno Boombox was not it.
choice did.
It's pretty bad.
Like, you saw the difference that it made for Sato when he had a real backline. It was night and day. When he had Alarm and Funny Astro, he was genuinely a good player.
Jonak, Arc, and Libero. So basically,
Three tanks, just Pavane stuff. I mean, a lot of teams did this, to be fair, but New York shouldn't be doing it because it's not their specialty.
Just the one fight. Again, though, on this particular map, if you lose the first fight, you only have, what, 2 more really proper fights, maybe 3.
3 really good fights, maybe.
So let's see if NYXL can make the most of this. Force some ultimates. They'd love to do that. They've kind of...
They should have tried the screw goats method. Honestly, that is also something Philly could have tried.
So important. That's the Transcendence forced out. So first step satisfied for the NYXL. You can see Manu's more than happy to abscond, but he doesn't even make it to the health pack. Carpe, he sees Libero, waiting for him to drop down.
Carper's like, yeah, nah, I'm good. There it is.
They're trying to back out here. You know, Philadelphia just taking advantage, getting really aggressive as they push on in. But they did get Braggy to use his Primal Rage. They got Boombox to use Transcendence. And look, Jonak is already 83% towards his own Transcendence.
Will I watch a Season 1 Dragons match? Probably. I'm thinking I might watch their final chance of, like, really having an opportunity to win. Oh, Jonak. Like, remember that? I think it was Stage 4 against Florida. They took him to a map 5. Like, everyone knew this was their last chance to win a game, if ever. Yeah, that's the one I'll probably watch. It's got like Fearless and Gaguri in it. It's a good time. Otto.
1 kill per pulse bomb at least. That's what his efficiency is right now. So that's big.
Yeah, like Saya Player to Fake Logic. It's a good time. Probably will watch that at some point. Oh, Libero!
Let's have a bit of a this down, so he's down. No, Jonak removes EQO though, so it's a 1-for-1.
That was the map 5 banger, yeah. I remember Bren like picked Shanghai to hype up the crowd. He's like, Shanghai's gonna win a game. And they came up short. Logic's like ruined their hopes and dreams. I remember on Widow. The beat.
It's time to brawl, just like Philly can. Xavier had a Discord orb and was forced to back away. Libero has now returned to the fight. He has a barrage himself. It might be time for him to turn the tables. Neptuno attempted a drive-by at the Libero who was dropping.
Yeah, Byron, correct.
And he's chasing on the point. Mako's fallen.
That is not the Tavik Reflect game. That was when they played New York. Woof! Clean! Round 3 win for Philly. So now it's like, oh my god, are Philly about to topple the 2 best teams in the league back-to-back? Like, that was the thought process watching this live. Like, where did Philly come from? Like, holy moly. Out of nowhere, make stage playoffs, up 2-0 against NYXL, and then Philly happened. Yo, is that an Arc Neptuno comparison on Lucio? Oh my god, it's night and day. Jesus Christ. The damage difference is crazy. This is where pain truly began. This is where the Philly era as we know it started, chat. Just think of it like this. If they had won this next map that happened, maybe their entire future could have been different. This set off a butterfly effect. This one loss, this one game, started it all. You have a chance to close out Volskaya Industries. A good attack could seal it. That's all you need. Yeah. Indeed, Micah. Altering has like the 2nd highest healing per 10 because he had to heal his feeding team. Yeah, Fusion get reverse swept here. Because this is a stage 2 title match. Remember, Philly never got a first place. They got so close so many times. This is arguably the closest they ever got, considering they're up 2-0. You're like, this in the Paris match, it's like, you're right there. Oh yeah, Libero, we get to see the Libero Widow. Actually, pretty cracked. Libero does not get enough credit for what he was doing for this team. Jesus, Jonak.
Cleans him up pretty comfortably there.
Hot take, if Fusion won here, they would have won at least 2 other tournaments. I mean, you never know, right? If you win this one, then you're out of your own heads, and from there, maybe you win more, maybe you don't, but at least they would have had at least one, you know? It's kind of depressing to think about, really. One of the only inaugural season teams to have never won a single thing. Libero again, going crazy.
It'll be Libero getting the best of EQO there. It's Rez right back up. So EQO back in the mix here, but the Philadelphia Fusion aren't pushing too far ahead.
I mean, what? How many teams never won anything ever? Like 3? I think only 3 inaugural season teams never won anything. Boston, Philly, and Houston? I think that sounds right. Shanghai, Dallas, Shock, Dynasty, Gladiators, Valiant, they all won. Mayhem won. London won. NYXL won.
But for now, he's playing safe.
And Neptuno's going to use his Valkyrie, trying to keep everybody up, but it's going to be Fraggy dropping at the beginning of these fights.
That's Uber just casually dropping a "that's ballsy" on broadcast. You love it. Libero's going off right now. Another freaking headshot. So I said Boston are one of the teams to have never won anything.
That's when they probably like back.
It's Boston, Philly, and Houston that have never won anything.
Very questionable use of Transcendence from Boombox. Communication perhaps not as free-flowing as he would have liked. Again, still a chance here for the Fusion.
True, we should remove that Valiant stage title for how horrible they were in the other ones. Real. That's coming from a former Valiant fan.
How do they protect Libero here? Because it's going to be a very fast push that comes in as soon as they figure out where he is.
Well, that might be a tough one for Boombox. Oh, Vana gets stuck.
Oh my god. The pulse bomb. Nope.
Was there to catch him as he fell. Mono doubles back, gets himself the mega.
Purely for Costa, we keep the title.
Very unceremoniously.
Yeah, not putting any pressure though in this fight. Yeah, you're allowing Jonak to build up towards the Transcendence.
Boston lost against the best tracer in the world. True.
Fights would be great, right? Because then you start building up towards your own support ults. Right now,
I'm a little surprised that Philly weren't really interested in continuing the Widow match up here.
You blew it there towards that later half of that previous fight.
Wants to farm it. Libero, he didn't spot.
Honestly, this is where I wish they put Snillo back into the game. He was a Route 66 specialist, essentially. But I can't help but feel like that would have been useful because of how good Widow Tracer was here. I don't know, maybe that's just me. You can't really run anything else, you're kind of stuck with that, but I don't think it's the biggest deal with how good Snillo looked in this specific instance.
This isn't bad for Philly though, Mitch. This fight's gone on so long that Boombox has that Transcendence back I was talking about. That'll be a
Transcendence for both sides, it's a light show.
Neptuno's going to get this sound barrier as well. Has to get a good use of it.
Down. Fraggy found him in the back line, Matt. Carper gonna fall to Jonak here, and that's gonna be a self-destruct thrown straight up. I don't know what Poco plans to do about that. Nothing. It didn't really affect him, actually. He charges forward.
Man, Philly fumbling the bag. It all starts here. But again, part of it is like more traditional strats. Look at how hyped they are. I freaking see what Sapiobi's doing there. This is why I loved him. He's always getting hyped out of his seat, pumping up his teammates. It's like, okay, that's the first one, guys. Now we keep it going. He was such a great team leader.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of just, Alim's actual kills, 17-3.
I don't remember. I don't know how many of y'all remember, but one of my favorite moments now was in Season 3 Plains when NYXL were down 0-2 against Shanghai, and SBB and Livro got put in and dominated Gibraltar. And
this is what's gotten NYXL here, right? Like their dive and, Libero.
But I think this is like where you could really tell this was the turning point. New York maybe weren't prepared for Snillo in the first map. I don't think most people were in that instance. Most teams probably weren't expecting Snillo. Second map, you decide to deviate from your Zenyatta, which is the reason you're as good as you were. And then you start playing more traditionally in the third map, and suddenly things go your way. And you remember, hey, we're actually the better team.
He has the protection. He has the entourage, as it were. Try and dive into the back line.
I wish we got to see SBB play for Dynasty. Imagine. It was always so weird to have him on that team to begin with, though, to be fair.
And that enables the Tracer of New York to go through and pick and choose his targets. Mana had a much better round as well, Matt. Only 1 death, 3 final blows, a very solid chunk of damage at about 2k.
And this is why you see them usually play Snillo, because now you're going to have EQO play Tracer. You're going to have Carpe play Widowmaker. So
I never really understood why they picked up Who Are You on that team to begin with.
There were people wondering, why do they take EQ out?
They kind of did Libero dirty that season. I'm going to be real. Like, whenever they played Libero, he was still so good. Even on, like, they played him on, like, Hit Scan and he played well. They played him on Echo, he looked good. They did him dirty.
For the Philadelphia Fusion in terms of, who they've got on the Tracer. But Matt, they've got to try and hold out on this first point anyway, so it may well take something truly special. And who knows, throw caution to the winds and see what happens.
No Sombra from either team.
Oppo Season 3 was also garbage, yes.
NYXL haven't played it not once this season.
NYXL had too much money, so they signed shiny players, yeah.
Maybe they don't want to rely
When what they really should have done is maybe try to take a risk on like a contenders player, not named Who Are You, like a different contenders player, maybe at a different position.
The innovator. He was the man that, like had so many 6 setups.
Imagine if New York signed Krong. Pretty sure, oh, Neptuno.
Set her up and he'll knock him down. It's a game of dominoes and the Fusion just can't win. Libero will drop down as Poco tries to salvage the situation, but there's nothing to be found. Except wet and salty tears. Libero challenged out on the point. EQO's Tracer just gets absolutely...
From my memory, I think they wanted Krong, but they couldn't get him. I think Charge like won the bidding war there. Oh yeah, that's right. They did have Mondu and Bianca, but those guys sucked.
Reality check there for Philly. The first 2 maps, they're rolling on through.
Reality check indeed.
Only 3 kills the entire map there for Philadelphia. You see the dominance of NYXL really show up.
And this is where they needed to find it as well, and in a big way. This will slow the Fusion down, give them that pause for thought, and again, that closeout match will be looming over their head saying, can we actually finish this series against arguably the best Overwatch team?
Bianca was mid at best.
Hybrid coming next, you'll probably see Janice come in for Mono as
well. Oh no, Noel guy, it's time. Janice.
Very good for NYXL Janice as well, but still a little bit of a change of pace going.
Neptuno was not great. His Mercy was pretty solid, but I mean Philly choked. All right, here we go.
Triple tank with that Junkrat again. So this is the composition that they used, outside of...
Janice, baby! The guy that never should have ever played. This is where Philly needed to capitalize with Janice in the game, and they failed.
Does Philadelphia realize this and change them?
It's time for Philadelphia to test their mettle up against, again, the top team so far in the Overwatch League, and the opportunity to take the Stage 2 title. And we'll see a lot of junk in the trunk for NYXL right now.
And Fraggy's gonna swap. Ryan?
Right away. So they're gonna go with Widow.
Hey.
So they're gonna go a little bit heavier. Yep, they see Siege Junkrat. They're going to go over
triple tank time.
Capitalize on that. So really smart changes here from Philadelphia. Not like trying it 1 or 2 times. They're gonna go to a comp they know works against it.
Bit of the slambulance action now, and Carpe's already a step up the stairs to that high ground. Jonak will keep him honest though with those orbs, as he often does.
I don't know, I thought generally Neptuno's Mercy was pretty good in Season 1. Not even like thinking about the pistol stuff. I mean, not that the standards were that high, but I thought he was one of the better Mercy players.
So the key here for Philadelphia is to have Poco's barrier available and get past the Orisa shield. Because when you get past the Orisa shield, then everybody's kind of out in the open here. You need to have Fraggy just kind of run into him. Have that protection from
this is a very strange pick by Carpe.
Over to Diva here, so gonna have that extra defense matrix to follow in Fraggy.
Carpe on the McCree now. Let's see if they can pressure this one forward. Coalescence is already there, of course, as the Moira's had spending a lot of time healing up these big bodies. You can see Jonak was so low. EQO's following up the damage.
Oh, I guess that works. Just send it down mid. Kill them all. Jonak? Trance here? Wait. The whole hog. They kill Fraggy. No shot, right? No shot they turn this. The grab? What are they thinking? What are they doing? Philly, what are we doing? Why did they grab? Why did Poco grab? And why was no one looking at it either? What are they doing? Should have just saved it for the next fight. They had no trance, just use it for the next fight. What is this panic by Philly?
Janice will change off of Arisa, will go to Winston, because you know as soon as they
And you're kind of losing out on your advantage a little bit because they're not playing Arisa now. Bro, the damage boost volley. Jonak has another trance already. That's just ridiculous. That's a giant shot. Fraggy, the hero. They have to deny res. They can't play too aggressive here. Oh my god, what is that max range hook? Get out of here. What did I think of Mono Season 4 on Philly? It was alright. Past his prime, but not horrible.
And you can see EQO's game sense there, Mitch. You know, he's not a player who plays D.Va as, you know, obviously his main hero, but as soon as
Dude, that hook felt like it was from a mile away.
Gives him a little bit of a bump, the flashbang comes through. He's able to finish.
And now Carpe's going to Widow. Here we go.
When you see, you know, a player who doesn't play one of these off tanks switch on over.
Why is EQO playing Tracer though? See, now that is a misplay. Running EQO Tracer into SBB is a murder, especially for this time period. Oh my lord. Just play Genji, bro. Honestly, you could get away with playing a Pharah here too. It's cool you find the Junkrat there, but like it just seems like a weird decision. EQO barely played Tracer this year.
Their sound barrier as well. So they still have the sound barrier from Neptuno. It's not used it yet. So this is the sound barrier.
Okay, now Libero. Now you can't play the Pharah. Libero's on Widow.
Over to Widowmaker here, just trying to combat Carpe. Seems like he pre-fired that.
Like, the fact that Libero can hold his own in this battle is, like, insane. A Widow battle against a Prime Carpe. Dude deserves a lot of credit for being flexible, stepping into the role that Pine would have like this, and playing really good. Like, why is Neptuno on Lucio? That's a great question. Why are they playing Lucio on point B of Hollywood? I feel like this is a botched strategy by Philly. Also, shout out to when the elevator was automatic. Remember those days, chat, when it used to go up and down? It was on a cycle. Feel strong, man.
Such a defensive setup for NYXL in that last fight, though. All sitting back so far, Carpe. 180 just for show, perhaps. Trying to get himself on YouTube.
Lucio's Zen was like somewhat common in Stage 2, but not on Hollywood. You just should not be playing that on Hollywood. It's more of like a control thing. You played on control.
You're all about half HP, and then she just grapples to another location.
Control, and you can get away with it on 2 CP if you want to. Philly took way too long screwing around. They wasted so much of their time bank.
And now the NYXL are trying to go back to the safe position. You see them sort of break out, they disengage again.
Remember when Hog couldn't move during his take a breather? Yeah, dear God. That was hilarious. Like, they really put emphasis on the fact that he was a big man, that he actually had to stop, literally stop to take a breather. Jonek casually kills too.
It's just so frightening when this man starts to get rolling. The entirety of the NYXL are backing up, trying to give him protection. They're not diving. They're
and the stagger.
NYXL waiting till the Philadelphia Fusion make a positioning error, or they find that first kill.
I mean, as Jonak leads NYXL in
oh my lord,
damage right now.
That's just disgusting.
Headshots for days there on the Zen.
20 seconds. And the Fusion, are they starting to run out of steam?
I mean, Janus was like okay during Apex. It's just, I think it's more so that he didn't belong on New York. He probably could have been a starting player on a different team in Season 1. I just don't think that he was meant to play on New York. I don't think he was good for their specific playstyle at all. Janus was like a lot more of a demanding tank player than Mono. Mono worked better for the team environment so they could focus more on Jonak and stuff. Hey, you got one, EQO. Good job.
Time's up, Philadelphia.
all of a sudden the momentum is just gone. You can tell the look on their faces here. You can tell they are royally screwing up. They are fumbling the bag. They had the lead, they shocked New York, and then they play 2 crap maps in a row.
I know you had 5 from Fraggy. Yeah, 2 from Poco, so doesn't seem like a lot, but you keep...
I mean, honestly, Carpe was playing fine in this series.
Their support ults and whatnot, it just kind of spirals out of control from there.
I just think Philly's strategies, their decision making was questionable.
First point might be pretty hard to achieve. So already the back of their head.
Carpe has played well in some of the big games, not all of them. Like, I think this one he did fine.
It's going to be about playing.
It's just like Philly were fumbling.
Yes, at the highest level. It'll be just a dive plus a mercy that comes.
Interesting to play a Widowmaker here, by the way. Point A, Hollywood. That is an interesting choice.
Simple principle. Just want to really get to grips with the fusion again. To threaten Carpe with this dive could be a good play. But they see the Roadhog there. And
oh my god! Mecha! Jeez, can you imagine that just running at you? Like, you're like, oh, with your team, everything's chilling, you're with your Zen. Then just from around the corner comes the whole team. Jesus Christ.
They're going to back away now. Fraggy sort of remains out, lacking the mobility to join the rest of his teammates, but that's worked.
Well, if you want to play this triple tank composition here for Philadelphia, you need to put pressure on the choke. You can't allow the dive heroes of NYXL to come in and create those.
That's hilarious.
So I really like that they pushed up, taken this space, right? It's helped them build up some ultimate charge already. Potentially maybe for some changes out of NYXL. This arc will go over to Lucio. You see Sabiel though, still lurking. There's not much he can do though against those big bodies, right? It's not like many tiny HP heroes.
Arc's going to Lucio. They're going to try and speed past this. They want to match the speed of Philly.
Unless Sabiel manages to get himself in between the tanks and him. EQO spots a little bit of action around the backside.
Yeah, a lot of these DPS players don't get enough credit. They can play a pretty decent Roadhog.
Just got hammered there. The Tracer will be able to get out. Slippery.
They want to close the gap on the carpet, playing that Widow in the back. But it's difficult because you have to go through all these tanks. So one thing they can use is that mobility, right? Not a lot of mobility in the tanks here at Philadelphia.
Sticking together though, benefiting from that healing, the coalescence now as well.
Oh, how does that hook not hit?
Incentive not to leave each other's side. I mean, they're from the city of brotherly love, Matt, so why not?
Again, bomb just murders. Well played by New York.
Everything, including the kitchen sink, is being hurled at the fusion by the New York Excelsior, and it's worked. They will crumble, collapse, and capitulate here on his first point, and NYXL will take it.
Extremely coordinated. They were able to get it.
Again, why are they playing? Why are they putting EQO on Tracer? I don't get it.
Everybody up for a little bit. Once it wears out, then that's when the blade plus Transcendence comes.
Might as well have just played. Okay, he's on Genji. Thank God. Thank God he's playing Genji. I was gonna say, if you're just gonna have the guy play Tracer the whole time, might as well play Snillo at that point. My God.
Inch by inch, the Fusion are losing that control over this series.
Oh, that's an understatement. It ain't inch by inch, Uber. They're losing it faster than that.
That's the start, though. Carpe finds Sabiel. Libero can settle to try and get some damage with the rest of his.
I forget what happens here. I don't remember if New York kind of blitz through them or if they struggle here. I don't remember.
So this is a comp that actually.
The best Genji season 1, in my opinion, it was Libero. Personally, or Prophet. I'd say either Libero or Prophet.
So he's able to dart in there almost like a Tracer and finish these kills off and get out.
Big involvement we saw when he first entered the Overwatch League. He and Fraggy were back to back, in a churning mess of enemies. They really like to get involved in those fights. They're not passive Genji, and you can see it right there. EQO exemplifies it.
Why did Meko bomb? Look at his health.
He and Fraggy were back to back, in a churning mess of
Oh wait,
enemies.
no, I wasn't watching. Okay, he dropped instantly. Never mind. I thought he was YOLO bombing. That was just him trying to remake. Got it. Never mind. The primal here? We're primaling?
I guess I should have said the grappling hook now. It's going to get battered, but the healing provided by Neptuno. So all Janus is doing is zoning.
I mean, you're buying space, I guess.
Farm some ult charge onto Janus because he knows he's not going to be able to take out Carpe in the back. They'll lose both tanks.
I guess it works in the end, a distraction. It worked. Somehow, it worked. Yikes. The series has completely turned on its head, and now it's like all New York. What was Neptune? Was Neptuno trying to pistol Jonak there? Or was he rezzing? What was he? Wait. I hear the I think I might have heard the res animation. Was he trying to res in front of Jonak? Yikes.
Jumps in. Primal Rage is there. Poco being shunted off. He's going to be de-seated in just a moment. Carpe might try and flank Wyatt, but he may not have the time. They've got to go to the payload now. EQO blown up on the 76 as he tried to approach.
I question why Janus didn't use right click, but this is 2018. Yeah, I've done that a bunch today. Look at SBB. Look at him. It's like, come on, guys. We got this. This is easy.
Helps him force a game 5. This one's going to be epic.
It all comes down to one final map.
Yeah, now it's just done. Philly at this point are completely and utterly defeated. Let's take a look at these stats here. Jonak, a casual 26-3 on Hollywood. You know, no big deal. 26-3 is Zenyatta. Okay, dude. Mecca went 24-1. SBB went 20-1. Philly found absolutely no kills in this game. It was just a brutal stomping. And now it comes down to Gibraltar. And if you remember, they did not play very good on Gibraltar against London.
Very rarely would you ever see sort of a quad tank or sort of multi.
And we get to see the Arc Ana based.
You normally would have. You've got to dive.
So here's
Let's go Arc. Not on Mercy. W. Yeah, at this point the series feels pretty over. Like, I don't think I realized at the time how much the momentum was in their side at this point for New York.
We'll see if he decides to stay on Mercy. Potentially could go over. Play Lucio here.
Shy on flex support was based.
Value that resurrection a little bit more.
Yeah, Pine was taking a break at the time. He was not in. It's a pretty big DMAC onto Mecco to start. Yo, what up, Maddie?
This now provokes a retreat from NYXL to the server room. But you notice that Carpe was looking.
Yo, that 2018 Chinese World Cup team was based though. Leave, Gushui, they had everyone.
But Jonak falls despite this effort of peeling.
Maybe what they want to do here, Philly, is...
This is a good response by Philly, though. It's a clean opening. You're already rounding the corner. Basically, just one fight there to get checkpoint. You can't really draw it up much better. That's a good start.
Very strong with that dive composition. They're going to try and put a lot of pressure on Jonak in the back. He's been putting down a ton of...
Yeah, Pine technically only won Stage 3 finals. That's correct.
Ana here, so you'll probably see him stay on Ana here to the second stage of the map.
My opinion on Poco, I love Poco. Based player.
Mana boost can be considered as effective health given that it reduces damage.
Pretty underrated.
That's right.
Never god tier, but Poco was a fairly reliable player in his career.
Carpe's looking to do a bit of a deep dive. He's found Jonak. Pulse Bomb doesn't connect. He's forced to recall out, but the Transcendence, regardless, is still used. It looks like NYXL are actually looking to use that, though.
Arc, can he live here? He's alive.
Libero's down to Poco. Mano trying to dare EQO to approach it. He debates him in with a big old Primal Rage.
QO, he's still alive? Like, Philly are playing so much better now. It's really insane that they fumbled this. Like, you can tell, like, in, like, an actual, like, mirror setting, they have a chance at this. But they decided to start doing strats that they didn't need to do. Like, it's almost like they were overthinking things.
Not having a Widowmaker, the Philadelphia Fusion can't use her to shut down this particular
You know,
entry or try and dominate.
it feels like at this point in time, Philly are just heavily overthinking it. Like, just do what you're good at. Do what got you here to begin with. Don't make it complicated.
Libro's half HP. Does he still opt for the Dragon Blade here? Yes, he does. He got a bit of healing in the interim, but Mano's down to Poco now. A big tank, a big name missing for NYXL, but Libro looks to try and fix that right out. Poco down. Libro falling, but Jonak removes Boombox, and now it's just EQO on the point. Frankie's too low to participate in this fight.
So New York, that was such a huge recontest by Meko to get there at the last second. That could have been really dangerous if Philly had like 5 minutes for point C. Honestly, that might have helped Philly turn around and win the series, but they're able to bring it back. Opinions on Miraculous Youngsters. They're like such a famous Chinese team pre-OWL.
It's a good spot for Dragon Blade as well, right? You know, in the back of that ship.
Wow.
Big deep dive there on the Boombox, and that is the NYXL dive that we haven't seen a lot of this series, man. But it works out. Fusion maybe. Be careful what you wish for.
Well, they're going to res Fraggy here, and Mono is down.
Like, they res, but, like, their Valkyrie's already up.
So there's a small window of opportunity where maybe you can attack here for Philly.
Sabiobi didn't want to pulse bomb that, and Boombox has to stand up for himself here. He has to be able to handle Sabiobi. Arcs down on the backline, though. Neptuno doesn't realize that Sabiobi was going to remain in the backline, but he's down. Pulse bomb dropped, though. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Tracer for Zenyatta, and now Jonak deals with Carpe. So both teams are missing the zippy Brit.
Oh, Jesus, man.
It's just so lovely. Jonak sends his orb sailing tranquilly over to belt Neptuno in the head.
And Arc is the one who keeps Jonak alive. He gets extremely weak. He hits a nice biotic grenade onto him, heals him right back up. Carpe is forced to use recall, and then Fraggy is kind of there, just stuck. As Arc will switch off of Ana, we'll go to Mercy here. So now you value the res, you value Valkyrie as a sustain ultimate.
Philadelphia Fusion right now, they just value winning. If they get stalled out here, they will most likely lose the series. Their victory must what? Again!
Jonak is a different breed. How is he getting these random kills?
Middle of the shuttle bay, and Carpe's down. This isn't working for Philly. They're getting dived on. They don't like it. They're being forced to eat their own medicine.
They're having a very difficult time getting to the high ground onto Jonak and forcing him out of position. He's able to just sit back as a turret, just put down these shots. This is where you may think about switching over to like the Widowmaker, right? Where all you need is that one shot to make a difference. You don't need that dive to get to the high ground. Mono has also been a troublemaker here. As you see, Sabiobi takes out Boombox, but that's set up by Mono. Mono jumps right on top of him. Sabiobi there to finish off those kills.
The Fusion are going to be champions today. They need to show us true grit, and they need to be able to recover from this.
They use Valkyrie to engage here too.
Self-destruct will force Libero out of the side room, but the Fusion don't do too much with that. It's just to give Poker.
New York have 6 ults here. Like, you can tell they're in full control now. They have their mojo back.
He's just sitting around the corner from Sabiobi right now. You can see him there. They're getting ready for this dive.
They're waiting out NYXL's Valkyrie. So they got them to burn Valkyrie. You still know Transcendence is here. They just have not been able to get it out. So that's why you've not seen EQO with the Dragon Blade. Mono will use Primal Rage.
Looking at plays made 6 years ago and judging them by today's standards is crazy. Yeah, it's 2 different games. Like, it's 2 different time periods. I think it's really, really messed up when people do that. Like, saying, oh, they played with plumbers back then. Like, dude, it's a different game. What do you want them? Like, what do you want them to do about that? They can't really control that. That was just the game back then. I mean, Sabiobi probably could have been a fine modern-day Tracer. I mean, he had the mechanics.
Neptuno goes for the resurrect. They need EQO standing. They need the blade.
I'm not saying he'd be top tier, but he could have been fine.
They had to use the Transcendence to revive EQO because he falls right at the beginning. Libero will use his own Dragon Blade. As he's able to get one, he goes back to the payload. So you have both flankers alive here. It's
Can EQO save it?
From EQO.
It has to be big. There's no other choice.
He gets Jonak. He saves it.
16 HP, hanging by a thread and walking a very fine line.
EQO kills the back line to save it. The clutch.
Flashes in. Meko desuited. Sabiobi now joining the fray. Poco does have a bomb. A self-destructor zone away from the point here. But New York are determined to stick to this one. They're not going to let the Fusion get away with this. Poco half health. Fraggy being healed up as we speak. And Carpe down. Jonak again. He may have just dashed the hopes of the entirety of the Fusion right now with those one shots.
New York are still fighting this too, which is wild. Jonak just got insta-melted. Goodbye. It is insane that New York are still in this fight for so long. SBB casually kills the back line.
defensive side. He's able to pick up the kill on Jonak. Arc then uses Valkyrie to try and get up in the sky, and he somehow gets up to take him out in time. Oh, by the way, then off the respawn as Jonak takes out Carpe, EQO kills Jonak again just as he gets Transcendence. Huge plays there from EQO.
Talking about the Hail Mary. And it looks like the Fusion got the blessing they were looking for.
Oh, that's a bad whiff by Carpe, yikes.
He won't get the pick on Mano. Mano now will try and go cause some trouble.
And now Libero can just use.
Step up and draw the sword. Neptuno nothing but the blaster. And it's not going to work. Libero will take 2 kills and be happy enough with that. Good protection by Meko to keep the Kenzie alive after he took a deep foray.
So you get the blade out there. No Arc getting close to Valkyrie yet again. No support ult here for Philadelphia. So your best kind of plan of attack here is to maybe use this Dragon Blade, get both support outs from NYXL, and then have a chance, because Neptuno may get to Valkyrie at that moment in time.
Sabiobi, again, looking for those supports. Boombox is getting used to this by now, being Valkyrie. Poco dips back straight away, but his stick is still there!
6 stick. It's just all New York DPS now, man. Like, they're completely taking over the series. I mean, EQO's still trying his best.
He doubles back, he gets rid of Sabiobi, but that's it.
Yeah, this is definitely a moment where Carpe disappeared in this map, for sure. And I mean, even, yeah, I'm part of Hollywood, too, for sure. Remember when Diva didn't have her missiles and could not cancel her dash? Good times. Well, not really good times, but, you know, a time.
Really smart plays from NYXL to push straight.
Give me 1 second, chat.
Philadelphia the space.
Just watch this while I disappear for a moment. Hold on.
Get a big blade off yet again. Now, EQO did force out that Valkyrie on the flank, but they just were not able to get that Transcendence out. He doesn't actually even get a chance to use that blade there towards the end of the match. And now we'll see if NYXL can complete this reverse sweep. Now, they got reverse swept in the Stage 1 finals. Be a nice way to end this one, getting a reverse sweep of their own, but Philly, I feel like, is not going to go down without a fight here. This is not going to be an easy offense.
NYXL, by no means, expected not only to have to face the Fusion in this final, but to be pushed to their very limit. And I guess sometimes it takes time to recover from the initial shock of it. But the Fusion have learned, they've developed over the course of the 2 series today. And now this is where we see the fruits of that labor. We see if the manifestation of the lessons they've received so far is going to be enough to hold the NYXL back. Remember, just outside that second checkpoint was where the payload got to. The Fusion had to dig their heels in. It's going to be a long winter. It's going to be rough.
Philly on defense, Neptuno will play Ana. So the tanks have to be very careful. You don't have the benefit of Neptuno playing Mercy, able to get those reses off.
True, Robin. SBB and Libero played well, but I also blame Philly in the way they played in general. They overcomplicated it so much. In your opinion, did defenders get a better or worse spawn on 3rd point?
So this is just more of what you normally see from
Philadelphia want to get their hands dirty. Scrappy until the
I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't really played enough of the new Gibraltar to give you like a true opinion on that.
Widowmaker already at large, and Libero taking half the
I mean, it feels like the new one's a little faster, right? Maybe a bit more predictable from where he can come from, but seems like you have more of a chance to contest.
Just gonna have 3 sight lines here. He has to be very careful though he doesn't get dived.
No attempt for the Fusion to really try and stop this payload yet. They're setting up, split between the server room and the left-hand side of that hook turn. Fraggy low again. Orb of Harmony will keep him topped up for the time being. Libero's just waiting for his chance to break this wide open.
Playing around the server room here, it's dangerous. You know, you're putting yourself prime.
Imagine if Leave was old enough for Al Season 1, that would have been sick. It would have been weird to see him on a non-Chinese team, but just letting him have a chance, man. Like, he could have made a difference for, like, a good team. Carpe gets a big kill finally. He does something. See, now that's good. That's good play by Philly there. Why did they nano? I don't know why they nano. Actually, maybe the nano is on for when they got the kill there. On Arc.
He uses the nano boost on EQO so he can get that dash straight through Arc and take.
Cleve was not great in his rookie season, but Chengdu also sucked majorly. He had Elsa playing Winston for crying out loud.
So you needed to use that to make sure you got that kill.
He had A-Ting and he had A-Ting, Among, and Elsa collectively as his Winston players.
Transcendence from Boombox, but as he pops out, he realizes it's nothing but a dastardly landscape to greet him. He will be removed. Mano, there he is. Poco desuited. Carpe removing Libero here, but it is the Fusion in complete and utter disarray right now. Carpe forced to zip on out. Sabiobi would love to chase him, but lacks the blink charges to do so. Carpe won't be able to do much at all, and the Fusion have to set up for the second phase here. First checkpoint reach for New York. First milestone.
Towards the end of the season, he picked it up, I thought, when Chengdu were a better team. For that, like, hot minute.
Primal Rage versus no support ults on the other side. They just need to close the gap.
Manu challenging the back line of the Fusion to a tickle fight.
Yeah, I don't know how Leaf would have done on a mixed roster. It's interesting to think about. Although then again, he could have played on Shanghai, I guess, but like, I don't know why he'd want to do that.
Nano Blade for the next fight. It's pretty big to hold on to some of those ultimates there. They get that one just done with Fraggy's Primal Rage. And you imagine they're going to play extremely close, and NYXL, they expect that. They switch off of Widowmaker, they go over to Genji, they're going to dive up on the high ground. Neptuno most likely...
No, I would not want Leaf to be 0-40 now. Nano Blade, at the spawn no less. That works. Not gonna lie, in this map it has felt like EQO is the only guy that wants to win.
And EQO finishes in style. All the trimmings. Lovely Dragon Blade there. Close the fight.
And another good thing about running Ana here for the Philadelphia Fusion is obviously that Nano Boost.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia didn't come onto the scene for a while.
4 entrances here for NYXL. You know, the 2 doorways on the top and then the 2 doorways on the bottom.
I mean, their first World Cup wasn't until, what, 2019?
Definitely working out for the Fusion thus far. They've had to, you know, commit ultimates such as Nano Boosts and Dragon Blades, but so far so good. Would love a
and then they weren't like seriously relevant until like a few years later.
Vanilla approach by the Fusion. Carpe evading his attacker there at 11 HP. And that's Mano going for the Primal Rage now. He actually was Bionic Grenaded. See if that actually makes a huge difference in the grand scheme. No, the Transcendence does get forced out. Neptuno was trying to avoid that occurring, but Boombox now has to drop down and get his ult on.
And I caught it there for a split second. Mano was actually slept, and then the peel comes in from, I believe...
It's a little tough to continue to play Ana here, though. Like, they're investing for Nano Blade, but it can be really tough. Not having that res can be such a big disadvantage. And, like... Okay, that was a nice nano.
Nano boost to Boombox, and he gets the job done. Extra damage, but more importantly, staying alive is the name of the game. Poco getting hammered though, definitely getting pressured. Libero
oh no!
Byronade was thrown, but not enough to stop Libero. Still very healthy, and now he'll slice and dice Poco out of his mech. The payload this entire time has been moving forward, and the NYXL are getting so close now, man. They can taste.
I don't even know if that's a hot take. I think you're just better off having Neptuno not on Lucio in general.
Okay. Libero blown to smithereens, but Frankie's also going to go the same way. EQO down.
Carpe finally gets a big kill, but it does not matter because everyone else was already dead.
50 meters stands between them and stage 2 victory.
Yeah, the cart's in a very inconvenient place as well. That's a really hard place to hold, like literally right at that corner. I remember watching this live and being absolutely furious. I wasn't even a Philly fan, I just was so mad that they choked. Like, I hate when teams choke, it pisses me off. I was so mad when Philly lost this. Nothing even against New York, it's just boring when the team that you'd expect to win always does. They almost just C9 there also, so that's cool. Boombox is... oh, see, nope, that's... You had to make your move there to save Boombox, and now Poco is suffering for it.
Frankie needs to stay on the payload, he's got no choice. Boombox has to commit. He and Neptuno standing tall. Now the Resurrector's going to be there. It's Poco that's brought back to the fight.
Oh no. Resing Poco there is just tough. That's it. The very first ever second place for Philadelphia Fusion. They did it to themselves, chat. They did it to themselves. They should have stuck to their guns right from the start. After stage 2, or map 2, excuse me, they just like, the way they played the game was overcomplicated. They overthought it, and New York took advantage as the better, more disciplined team. You can't overthink things, you just have to do what you gotta do as an underdog, you know? There's no point. That chair got rolled, yeah. What started a great illustrious history of second places, yeah. This was the very start.
Savior will be here in our final map. 34 limbs, 18 final blows, only 7 deaths. There's not a more clutch player in the league than him.
Stage 1, they will reverse sweep.
Stage 2 champions, alexyOWL, the beginning of their short legacy.
But now they are the orchestrators of the reverse sweep. Philly came in swinging, there's no doubt about it. But alexyOWL outlasted them. They stayed with their heads in the game.
There it is. The winners.
Really keeping them together. And Jonak waking up on that Zenyatta towards the end. Really managed to put together.
Oh, yo, is this an ARC interview? Hold up.
Please give it up for your stage 2.
I forgot ARC is really good at English. W ARC interview? Pause champ.
You guys were in the finals. Sorry, throw that party around. In stage 1,
it's Wizard Young, the typical genius.
Thank you. By the London Spitfire. Today, you guys reverse swept the Fusion. How did you get it done?
First of all, like, we thought London would come up, so we prepared lots for the London, and like, we tried to did it, but like, Phila was really good, so we should prepare again. Like, we thought just like that, and we just changed our mind in the game, and I think that's the reason.
Mid-game adaptations, Philly playing very silly. They weren't prepared for Philly at the beginning either. They did make some good changes, although I think a lot of it is self-inflicted on Philly's end.
There's like no word to express this one, because like we were really depressed when we got reverse sweep in the stage 1, and now we did it. So like.
You just call Wizard Young Smurf with a beard.
So good.
Well, rightfully so. That was deserved. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations. We're heading to the desk one last time with Pocket, Crumbs, and Reinforce.
There it is.
Thank you so much.
GG's. The very first Philadelphia Fusion choke of many. But yeah, chat. We did it. That's another throwback watch party in the books. So now, before you leave, I am once again going to start a poll and ask you where we should go from here. Should we stick with Season 1 and finish it out and maybe do the other stage matches, plus a couple of more, or do we mix things up now and maybe come back to inaugural season a different time? What should we watch next? Continue in 1. Let me see. Some kind of goats match. Season 3. Something from Season 3. Other. What about like Titans versus Shock / Chengdu? Alright, chat. Vote now, and that will decide where we go in the next stream, whatever that may be. If I had to guess, maybe next week. We don't have to necessarily stay in like one era and just go in order. We can kind of change things up if we want to. But hey, I am down to continue more Season 1 as well. There's a bunch of awesome stuff we could watch. Battle of LA, Stage 3 finals. Let me think. Some kind of Shanghai game. Alright, Matt, sounds good. Give me your quick thoughts, and then I will game plan accordingly. alexyOWL choking against Philly for finals. I'll watch that at some point. I should have said toilet bowl instead of something from Season 3. Maybe that would have inclined more people to vote for Season 3. Oh well. I almost said Philly versus Paris, but like we just watched 2 Philly games in a row. So save that for a different stream, I would figure. A Tavik compilation. Just give me an idea of what you want, chat, and then I'll figure it out from there. In all likelihood, I'll probably do something from Stage 3 next. Either a Stage 3 game of some kind, or maybe, like a New York versus Seoul game, one of the first 2 stages. Because those were bangers. 2 like crazy map 5s between like the Korean powerhouses. There's a couple things on my mind where we could go. Season 1 Grand Finals is on Twitch. They do not have it on their YouTube channel for some reason. It looks like chat generally wants to continue Season. That seems to be the popular vote at over 52%. I think that's where we're going to go. Kongdu versus Runway with the start of Decay shortcomings. I want to do non-OWL stuff too. We're going to get to like World Cup and Contenders and Apex as well. Right now, it seems like you guys are enjoying Season 1, though, so that's what we will continue to do for the time being. I'll figure out what I want to watch next. I'm thinking either Battle of LA or, like, New York and Boston finals, maybe. One of those two. Or both. We'll see. Unless chat suddenly has something to say about it. 48%. No, it's probably the vast majority. Alright, I think that's where I'm gonna decide the poll. We're gonna end it there. Looks like you guys want to keep going with Season 1, at least for a little while longer. So, that's what'll be up next. It'll be something in Stage 3, most likely. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you posted. I'll do a little stream announcement like I did today. Keep your notifications on. Appreciate all of you a lot. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll catch you in the next stream. Peace.